Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your attendance. We're now going to begin our hearings on requests for non-pro tunc relief. Essentially matters by individuals who are requesting permission to file late appeals. If your request for late appeal relief is granted, you then will be scheduled for a regular hearing. If your request is not granted, your matter will not be heard, your appeal will not be heard. However, you have every right to appeal any decision of this board to the court of common pleas. So I just want that to be clear to everyone. Also, this is a formal hearing, so please be dressed properly, be attentive, sit up, no reclining in your easy chair or your bed. And also, if you're in a vehicle, you must be parked in a safe place. We will not hear your matter if you're traveling in a vehicle. Okay, so what we will do in a moment is ask if the law department has a general list of matters that have been resolved. If not, we will go directly to the list. I don't see any raised hands. Yes, we do. Mr. Begelman.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I have a preliminary matter on the non-pro tunc list to read into the record. This is concerning case number 9 on today's list. It's appeal number ending 0000293, address 11906 Stevens Road, appellants Henry and Danica Paroli. That is an agreement for the city is essentially waiving its challenge to the non-pro tunc request. And we'd ask that it be marked a city affirm with a 6-month stay of enforcement. I believe appellant's attorney Natalie Kleshtorny is on to confirm.
Okay.
I
Ms.
am, yes.
Kleshtorny, are you present?
I am board member. I am.
Okay. Is that also, do you confirm that in fact that's the agreement on behalf of your client?
That is correct, Mr. Woodson.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're noted as city affirmed with 6 month stay of enforcement.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Have a good day.
Okay, Mr. Begelman, anything else?
I do believe there's either a standing or a LLC without an attorney issue to be addressed
Okay.
for case number 15, but I'm happy
15?
to wait till that's called in normal.
Oh, no,
course.
let's call it now.
Okay.
Let's raise the issue now.
Okay. Yeah, this concerns case number 15, appeal number ending 0000433.
Yeah, just give us the address and the name of the appellant.
The address is 1025 Arch Street. Appellant Kelly Wang, Huang.
Okay.
I'm not sure if anyone is present on behalf of.
Is anyone present on behalf of 1025 Arch Street? 1025 Arch. Anyone? No one's present in the room regarding 1025 Arch, and no one is responding online regarding 1025 Arch. Court administrator, board administrator.
No one in the room under that name. Mailing address listed 2846 St. Vincent Street. Notice this hearing was sent to 2846 St. Vincent, February 26, 25.
Okay, thank you very much. Hearing no response, what is your pleasure, Mr. Begelman?
Yeah, for the record, what I was going to raise was that the owner of this property, 1025 Arch Street, is 800 Arch LLC, I believe is the entity. 800 Street LLC is the entity, and it's unclear who the appellant represents or is associated with. But regardless, because no one's here, the city would ask that the appeal and the non-pro tunc request be denied for failure to appear.
Okay. Thank you. Just one moment. Okay, thank you very much. We will pull the board on HA 2025-000433, 1025 Arch Street, Kelly Wang. Mr. Pincus, what time do we have? 12:21 p.m. This matter is dismissed for failure to appear.
Thank you.
We all of us need to vote.
Dismissed for failure to appear. Dismissed for failure to appear.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Okay? Mr. Begum, I think that resolves that matter. Anything else?
That's all for me on this list. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. All right, Mr. Queen up.
Good afternoon, Board.
Afternoon.
I have one preliminary matter on the non-pro tongue list. It's number 8, appeal ending 2, address 988 Berry Road, appellant Alan Dong. The appellant has agreed to withdraw the appeal. I'm just waiting on the signed agreement, and I will forward that to the board.
So the settlement is that, the result of the settlement is a withdrawal.
So the appeal is withdrawn. The underlying SVN will be settled with the responsible party. So the appellant isn't the owner or responsible party of the property.
Okay, for the record, we'll note this matter is withdrawn by the appellant. Is that
Yes,
accurate?
and I will forward that agreement as soon as I have that.
Pardon me?
I will forward the withdrawal agreement as soon as I have it.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Or anyone else have so if, I note there are 2 individuals raising their hand in the room. Are you city attorneys? Okay, come forward, please.
Hello?
Yes. Make sure you hit that button so the light's on, so that we can hear you. And so your name and put your name on the record and tell us why the matter.
Good afternoon, Jane Huang for the City of Philadelphia. We are here for appeal number docketed 1 HA 2024-004323. It's my understanding that the appellant
Well, we need to also give the address and the appellant's name.
to South 15th Street. It's the Avenir Apartments.
And the appellant is,
My understanding is the appellant is withdrawing the appeal. We have reached that.
okay, the appellant, according to our record, is Haley Nunez Evans. Is that accurate?
That is the manager of the Avenir Apartments, the attorney for the apartment.
Okay, sir, would you give us your name, please?
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Charles James. I'm the attorney for the appellant. It is a corporate entity. As she referenced, Ms. Haley Nunez is the community manager representative. So I'm appearing on the corporate entity's behalf to indicate our withdrawal of the non-proton.
Okay, so we'll note it as withdrawn. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chair,
Have a good
excuse me, this is the court reporter. Could I please have the city attorney restate her name and spell the last name, please?
Oh, okay.
Sure. Jane Huang, HWANG.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you all.
Is there anyone else present who has preliminary matters regarding the non-proton list? The board has several, so please, I'll need your attention as we call these items. Item 2, which is 5101 5860 Osage Avenue, Tanisha Morris, who's representing the city.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Michelle Reinhardt for the City of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Is Tanisha Morris present? Tanisha Morris. Okay. Is anyone in the waiting room, sir, with that name?
No one in the waiting room with that name.
Okay, this is noted on our record as a second listing. And would you confirm service for us, please?
While he's checking service, anyone here regarding the property at 5880 Osage Avenue? 5880 Osage Avenue? 5860
Yep.
Osage Avenue? 5860 Osage Avenue?
This matter was continued for council, both on 1/30/2025. No, appellant's address is 1545 South Mole Street. Notice for both hearings were sent to 1545 South Mole Street. This notice was sent to 26/25.
Thank you very much. What time do we have, Mr. Pincus?
12:27 PM.
12:27 PM. What's the city's pleasure?
The city will request that this be dismissed for failure to appear.
Thank you very much. We poll the board, HA 2024-005-101-5860 Osage Avenue, Tanisha Morris. This matter is dismissed for lack of appearance.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the next matter is number 3, HA 2024-005-143, 7634 Castor Avenue, Stuart Tobin. Okay, who's
Good
representing the
afternoon.
city?
Good afternoon, board members. John Wazorek on behalf of the city.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, board members. Jay Kivitz on behalf of Stuart Tobin, who I'm actually waiting for. I expect him here in a couple minutes. Can we pass this and come back to it?
Oh, okay, we have a few more matters. We'll have to conclude this pretty soon, though.
Now that he should have been here 10 minutes ago, so I expect him here.
And for the record, please know that I am going to recuse myself from this matter.
So noted. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Pincus.
Yes, Mr. Kivitz. Good
Thank you.
afternoon.
How are
But I'll
you?
have to recuse myself.
I
We will
understand.
recall this matter in short order. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Let's move down to number 4, 2025-000-251, 52 North 60th Street, Gwendolyn Taylor.
Good afternoon, members of the board. This is Thomas Guyutsa for the city.
Good afternoon, Mr. Galuzza. Anyone present representing Gwendolyn Taylor or 52 North 60th Street? Oh, I see a Gwendolyn Taylor who's muted. Okay, ma'am, you're still muted. You may need. We're gonna send you a prompt that may help you unless there's someone in your space who can help you unmute. Okay, Ms.
Here.
Taylor, would you mind putting your name on the record, please?
Gwendolyn Taylor.
Ms. Taylor, would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
The truth, so help you God.
Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Taylor, the issue here, and this is only dealing with your request for permission to submit a late appeal. According to the record, the date of your notice was July 12th, 2024, and you submitted your appeal on January 22nd, 2025. And the code requires that you submit appeals within 30 days of the notice. What has happened in this instance?
Well, I got a mail and I didn't recognize it, and I took it to LNI to find out what it was about, because it was just a final notice out of nowhere. So when I took it there, they told me what it was and I appealed. Because
Okay,
unfortunately, I didn't get any other mail, just a mail that's saying final notice.
okay. One question for you, then I'll ask the city my apologies. Who's the owner of 52 North 60th Street, ma'am?
Gwendolyn Taylor.
Gwendolyn Taylor, how long have you been the owner?
7 years.
Okay, any response from the city?
Yes, the city can confirm that Ms. Taylor has been the owner of the property for 7 years based upon documents on Philodocs.
Okay, now, one of the things, as we looked into this matter, the original NOV was issued to an LLC.
That is correct. The initial NOV was issued to I believe it was 52 South 60th Street LLC,
Right.
where the property in this appeal is 52 North 60th Street,
Okay,
which I believe was the source of the confusion.
okay, so with the final notice, though, the appeal was submitted timely from the final notice. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that assessment, yes.
Okay, so given that, we will then, okay, thank you.
Does this raise another question? If the original appeal was sent to an address at 50 52
South.
South 60th Street.
So-
What's the property in violation?
So the original appeal was sent to the, hang on, let me pull up the exact address for you. Yeah, so the original notice of violation was sent to the address on record for that 52 South 60th Street LLC. And that address was a apartment in New York City. The final notice of violation, which was sent to Ms. Taylor, was sent to a address in the Bronx, which is listed on the deed as her address.
And the property in violation?
Apologies, the property in violation is 52 North 60th Street.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Mhm.
Council, just what was that?
I don't understand
Of course.
this.
Thank you for your patience. Okay, madam, we're prepared to vote on this matter.
Mhm.
It's regarding HA 2025-000251, 52 North 60th Street, Gwendolyn Taylor. Request
Yes.
for non-pro-tunc relief granted.
Request granted.
Request granted.
Request granted.
Okay, ma'am, what that means is that your request to submit a late appeal has been granted. You will now be scheduled for a regular appeal hearing, okay?
Okay,
All right, have a good day.
that's it.
Yes, that's it for today.
Thank you.
You should receive an additional notice in the mail.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to number 5, ending in 0261, 1100-02 Spruce Street. Megan Miller doing business as CO PMC Property Group. Who's representing the city?
It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, is anyone present representing the interests of 1100-02 Spruce Street? Anyone present? Mr. Johnson, have you had conversations with anyone regarding this matter?
No, I have not.
Okay, our concern here is that this is very likely a corporate entity and legal counsel is required, but no one is present for the hearing today. Okay, Mr. Pincus, what is your pleasure? I mean, what time do you have?
It's also a big outfit.
Service.
12:35 PM.
12:35
Notice-
PM. Let's confirm service,
Notice-
please.
Notice of this hearing was sent, the appellant's address was listed 1608 Walnut Street, 14th floor. Notice of this hearing was sent to 1608 Walnut Street on the 14th floor, February 26, 2025.
Thank you. Okay, what's the city's pleasure, Mr. Johnson?
City requests that the petition to hear the late appeal be dismissed, denied.
Thank you. Okay, regarding HA 2025-000261, 100-02 Spruce Street, Megan Miller, DBA CO PMC Property Group. This matter is dismissed for lack of appearance.
This dismissed for lack of appearance.
Dismissed for lack of appearance.
Dismissed for lack of appearance.
Thank you very much. That matter is concluded. Anything else, Mr. Johnson, while you're there?
Well, the next 6 and 7, I'm also covering.
6 and 7, okay. All right, read that 6 and, please.
Case number 6, hearing appeal ending 0262, 1549 South Taney Street, Gina Battaglia.
Okay. Sir, Mr. Johnson, your name on the record, please.
It's Christopher Johns.
Okay, alrighty, is Gina Battaglini present, or any other individual who represents the interests of 1549 South Taney Street?
And if I may, for the board, I wouldn't be surprised if no one showed up. Gynarch, the LLC that owns that property and is owned and controlled by Gina Battaglini, they sold that property before the end of 2024.
Okay. So given where we are at this moment, what is your pleasure?
The city is requesting that that be dismissed for failure to appear.
Okay, let's confirm service.
For matter number 6, appellant listed PO Box 745, Turnersville, New Jersey. Notice was sent to that address on 2/26/25.
Thank you. Okay, what time do you have, Mr. Pincus?
12:37 PM.
12:37 PM. We will poll the board on HA 2025-000262, 1549 South Taney Street. Gina Battaglini, Battaglini. This matter is dismissed for failure to appear.
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 Thank you.
Case number
7.
7, hearing appeal ending 0268, 625 East Clementon Street. Gina Battaglini.
I note for the record that we received a request to continue this matter. My apologies again. Thought I had fixed this. Okay. Any response to that request?
I mean, the city opposes continuing the matter. There's no reason for the board to entertain the appeal at all. There's been no showing that there's been a fraud or a breakdown that resulted in the late filing of the appeal. I would also note that Ms. Battaglini and her entity Gynarch LLC had 2 hearings scheduled before the board that were heard on Tuesday, and they failed to appear at that, which were timely appeals. So
okay. In this request, in this matter, though, this is also a corporate entity that owns the property?
correct.
And so had there been any previous continuances in this matter?
No.
Okay. All right, just one moment. Okay, back on the record. Regarding HA 2025-00268625 East Clementine Street, please confirm service, please.
Service was for appellant's address, PO Box 745, Turnersville, New Jersey. Notice this hearing was sent to that address on 2/26/25.
At what time do we have?
12:40 PM.
12:40 PM. We will now poll the board regarding HA 2025-000268, 625 East Clementine Street, Gina Battaglini. This matter is dismissed for failure to appear.
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 Okay, thank you very much. Let's move now to number 13, 5960 Windsor Street, Tina Anderson. Thank you.
Good afternoon again, board. John Wazork on behalf of the city.
Good afternoon. Is Tina Anderson present? Tina Anderson. Okay, let's read that in properly, then confirm service for me.
This is case 13, hearing appeal ending 0394, 5960 Windsor Street, Tiana Anderson. Tiana Anderson listed 810 Longacre Boulevard, Yeadon, PA. Notice of this hearing was sent to that address on 2/26/25.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Brazoric, what is your pleasure?
The city would request that the relief be denied for failure to appear.
Thank you. Mr. Pincus, what time do we have?
12:42 PM.
12:42 PM. Thank you. We will poll the board regarding HA 2025-0003945-960 Windsor Street. Tiana Anderson, matters dismissed for failure to appear.
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 Thank you. Okay, let's go back up to item 3, 7634 Castor Avenue. Are we ready to go, sir?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, Mr. Kivitz, let's read this matter and then we'll get started. Yeah.
Case number 3, hearing appeal ending 5143, 7634 Castor, Stuart Tobin.
Thank you. Just for the record, one of our panelists, Mr. Pincus, has recused himself, so he will not participate in evaluating this request. Okay, Mr. Kivitz, will your client be testifying at all?
He may, yes.
I just want I can swear him in now, just in case, get that out of the way.
That'd be
Sir, if you
fine.
raise your right hand. Right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, just for the record, and then I'll ask the city to respond, and then finally Mr. Kivitz to respond. According to the record, the date of notice is September 6, 2024. The date of appeal is 12/12/2024, considerably beyond a 30-day window for appeals. Does the city have any comment on that?
At this time, no, I would like to hear the appellant's reasoning.
Okay, let's hear from Mr. Kivitz.
Okay, thank you. So as the appeal indicates, and as you just indicated, Mr. Chair, the notice is dated September the 6th, 2024. My client was out of town when that notice was sent. He didn't return home, and the notice was sent to his home. He didn't return home for about a week or so, and then he didn't actually see the notice until probably a week or two after that. When he did see the notice, he tried to contact Hanif Edens, who was the inspector who's listed on the violation notice. He tried calling him several times, never got a response. And then through the Eclipse system, he applied for and got an initial corrective permit within a couple of weeks of him actually getting the notice, receiving the notice. And it was his understanding that formally submitting the initial round of permit applications would place the violations on hold, as it indicates that the property owner is taking corrective action, which in fact he was doing. And then he got a second notice, which spurred the further appeal to indicate that the licenses and inspection was moving forward with the violation penalties. I can tell the board that all the work has been completed. All the licenses, the inspection report was issued on April the 2nd, 2025, and it shows that everything is clear. And the zoning permit was issued on October 15th, 2025. So essentially, after understanding exactly what was being involved, and my client has never had to go through anything like this before, he went to the property immediately. He wasn't aware that these changes had been made. They were done by his tenant, never notified Mr. Tobin. And then when he became aware of what the tenant had done, he immediately took corrective action, and the action has been completed.
Okay, the city, in response?
So the city would just like to note that the board lacks jurisdiction to hear an appeal that was filed beyond 30 days from the date of notice. And even if the board decided to maintain jurisdiction, an appeal nunc-pro-tunc is permitted only when the appeal is untimely as a result of fraud or breakdown in the tribunal's operations, or where the appellant or appellant's counsel failed to file a timely notice because of non-negligent circumstances. The circumstances just described by Mr. Kivitz are not non-negligent circumstances. He indicated that the appellant received the notice approximately 2 weeks after it was sent, even if he was out of town. He did take certain actions, but none of those actions were actually appealing the violation, which is why we're here today. From the city's point of view, there's no reason that this appeal was not filed until approximately 3 months after the initial notice was sent out. To the extent that appellant is saying that the violations have been complied and the permits have been completed, I was not able to confirm that ahead of today's hearing. But I would represent that if that is in fact the case, this would then be moot. There wouldn't be any follow-up action from the city if those violations are in fact remediated and the case file is completed. But for today, we're just talking about the timeliness of the appeal. I think it's very clear here that the board lacks jurisdiction to hear this nunc-pro-tunc.
Okay, thank
So
you.
can I respond? Can I respond?
Yes.
So if in fact the matter would be moved, if you had had an opportunity to review the file and see that everything can be done, could this be postponed? I can send you, you can further investigate, and I can send you what has been issued by licenses and inspections to show that everything has in fact been completed.
Well, I think what we're talking about is this request for non-pro-tunc, which is not a discussion of the underlying violation.
I'm aware of
The
that.
violation may in fact be moot, but that's not what we're here today to talk about. We're only here today to talk about your request for a late appeal. And so we tend not to delay these because it just bogs up the system over and over again. And I believe, Mr. Resort, you represented that the record that you checked did not indicate such completion?
At the last time I checked, these violations had not been complied. Again, I believe whether they're complied or not is irrelevant to the actual decision of whether to grant nunc-pro-tunc relief.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the argument. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, thank you very much. We will poll the board on HA 2024-005143, 7634 Castor Avenue, Stuart Tobin, request for non-pro-tunc relief denied.
Relief denied.
Relief denied.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your participation and your patience. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the list then, and call, I think number 10 would be the next one.
This is case number 10, hearing appeal ending 0311, 1531 North Street, Willis Berry, doing business as Willis Berry Jr., doing business as Willis Berry Jr.
Hi, it's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
My name is Willis Berry. I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So,
Okay, well, we haven't asked you to be sworn yet. You jumped the gun on me, sir. Okay, just identify yourself, sir.
my name is Willis Berry, Willis W. Berry Jr.
Okay, thank you very much. Just one moment. Okay. Again, this is a request for non-pro-tunc relief. Mr. Johnson, do you have any witnesses, other than yourself?
No, as this was a hearing simply based on the request for
Yeah, just-
pro-tunc relief,
Yeah.
the city does not have a witness.
Okay, all right, sir. Ms. Berry, would you mind raising your right hand to be sworn, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you very much. Place your hand down. Okay, the record that we have indicates that a notice of violation was written on 2/24/2024. The appeal notice was not submitted until January 28th of 2025. Can you explain the reasoning behind that significant delay?
Well, I don't recall getting any violation or notice that I had permits, that these permits were going to be expired. So I hired contractor to resubmit, well, to try to get our permits restored. And I paid him, and then he got some information about the zoning. I had to pay $721. So I got on Eclipse, and I got in the chat line. And one of the ladies, a real nice lady, she told me that I could file an appeal. That was I guess about a month and a half ago. And I found out the address where I should send them information about the asking for appeal. And I attached the entire chat I had with the person on Eclipse. Then she sent me a form to fill out, and I sent the form in. And just recently, I got the notice about the day's hearing. And then in the notice, it said I had to submit paperwork or whatever I was going to submit in my argument. To submit the paperwork, I brought it down there Monday with my son, and we dropped it off. And that's why I'm here today, because we had our permits. What happened was the COVID and, you know, the pandemic, the closure down of the city. We got sick. Everybody else was getting sick. Nobody went to work. And I worked by myself for a while, and I'm not able to do everything.
Let's hear a response from the city. Thank you.
Yeah. With regard to this case, it was a little confusing to look at the paperwork that was submitted. This is regarding the property that's at 1531 North Street. The city's records, and I'm going to make an offer of proof here, would show that there was a building project that commenced at that location to build a 3-story new construction building with 3 units. That permit was issued by L&I back on April 21st, 2015. And at that time, they had a zoning permit, they had building permits. Now, he's saying that work didn't ever go past when COVID happened. As the board is well aware, many buildings, many permits were issued, completed, inspected during the COVID period. What happened here was these permits expired, and now he has to apply for new permits, but he doesn't want to pay the fee. The city objects to the idea that this would be the tribunal with jurisdiction to hear that issue. If he's fighting about the $720 fee for his new zoning permit for that building, he should appeal it to the tax review board.
Well,
But-
we're only here today to hear the non-pro-tunc relief request. So the underlying matter is to be litigated at some other place and time. And so any response regarding the request for non-pro-tunc relief, Mr. Johnson? Any response?
Well, there was no breakdown here. His
Okay.
permits expired by operation of law, and he's waited 5 years to come in and try and prevail on this tribunal to say he doesn't have to pay permit fees, which
Okay.
I don't believe is within this tribunal's.
Thank you. Before we vote, Mr. Berry, any additional comment before we vote?
No, but when he talks about other people were doing work during the time, these people had a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money.
Mr. Berry, we're really here only to deal with the matter of
understand
the request for non-pro-tunc relief.
All right. Well, I set forth everything in my letter.
Okay.
And my paperwork, and that basically.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, we will,
Can I request a brief conference?
Thank you very much. We're back on the record. Regarding HA 2025-000311, 1531 North Street, William Berry Jr., DBA Willis Berry Jr. My apologies, is Willis Berry Jr. I mispronounced the first name initially. My apologies.
Thank all words.
Okay. Okay, given that, we've considered this request and the board finds that this matter has been dismissed for lack of jurisdiction.
I agree. Dismiss for lack of jurisdiction on the part of the board. Dismiss for lack of jurisdiction.
Dismissed for lack of jurisdiction.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a good afternoon. Mr. Johnson?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
let's move on to number 11.
This is case number 11, hearing appeal ending 0318, 32 North 52nd Street. Duskaba Koroma.
Okay, anyone present?
Good afternoon, almost said good morning, board members.
Good afternoon.
Michael Rulo, RULLO, on behalf of the city.
Okay, anyone present representing the interest of 32 North 52nd Street? Anyone present? Anyone present? Dusuba Koroma.
Everyone in the waiting room is named. No one in the hearing room. Mr. Korma listed 5417 Willows Avenue. Hearing notice was sent to 5417 Willows Avenue on 2/26/25.
Thank you very much. What's your pleasure, Mr.
Uh,
Rowland?
The city would ask that this matter be dismissed for failure to appear.
Thank you. What time do we have?
1 PM.
1:01 PM. We will poll the board regarding HA 2025-000318, 32 North 52nd Street, Dusuba Koroma. This matter is dismissed for failure to appear.
Dismiss for failure to appear. Dismiss for failure to appear.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Thank you very much. I think that resolves that matter. Let's move on to number 12.
Case 12, hearing appeal ending 0320, 32 North 52nd Street. Duspa Koroma. Mr. Koroma, no one in the waiting room under that name, no one in the actual hearing room. Koroma listed 5417 Willows Avenue. Notice of this hearing was sent to that address on 2/26/25.
Okay, it appears to be a duplicate of the previous matter. I'm not sure why we have two.
Board members, there's separate violation cases. So
Okay.
there are, he did appeal two separate cases, one from 2023 and one from 2024. So they are not duplicates, and we would respectfully
Okay.
ask that this matter be dismissed for failure to appear, like with the other one.
Thank you. What time do we have?
1:02 PM.
1:02 PM. We will poll the board regarding HA 2025-000320, 32 North 52nd Street, Dusuba Koroma, dismissed for lack of appearance.
Dismiss for failure to appear. Dismiss for failure to appear.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to 14.
Case 14, hearing appeal ending 0396, 13th between Market and Ludlow Street. Ilias Sagos.
Okay. Who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, Board. Michelle Reinhardt for the City of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon. And sir, your name?
My name is Elias Sagos.
Okay. Sir, would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. This is a request to submit a late appeal, what we call non-pro-tonc relief request. And according to our record, the date of your notice was December 18th, 2025. You submitted your appeal on February the 4th, 2025. Am I correct, the record? The notice was 12/18/2024. And then the appeal was submitted 2/4/2025. That's considerably late. So, sir, what is your argument for being late?
I never received any letter because I changed my address, 21. I went through Eclipse and they had the wrong email address, so I wasn't able to fix my address through Eclipse. I went to LNI. I thought I fixed my address, and some of the papers that was keep coming to the old address. So I never got any information.
Okay, when did you change your address?
2021.
And is that address in the system, that new address in the system?
It is now.
When did it change in the system?
I went back again recently on that date, 25.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was fixed, but seems like it wasn't.
Okay.
Some of the papers was coming to the new address,
Okay,
like the license, but from the LNI, seems like it was keep going to the old address.
okay, do you have any evidence that you changed the address in 2021?
My driver license.
Okay, I know I'm asking, is there any, do you
No.
have a screenshot of Eclipse or anything like that?
Well, the Eclipse, the email was wrong, so I had to go there in person.
Okay,
They gave me the computer. I fixed the address. I put the email, and I thought it was working. And then I receiving the license. It was coming to the new address, but from the LNI, it was keep going to the old address.
okay. Any response from the city?
We don't have documentation regarding when any kind of requests for an address change would have been made. But our position generally is that the board lacks jurisdiction to hear an appeal that is filed beyond 30 days. Even if the board maintains jurisdiction for a non-protunct appeal is permitted only when the appeal is untimely as a result of fraud, breakdown in the tribunal's operations, or when the appellant failed to timely appeal due to non-negligent circumstances. I will leave it to the board to make that determination regarding whether there are enough facts of record.
But I have a question. Mr. Sagos, this is a vending license, right? A
Yes,
sidewalk
I
vending.
worked there for 35 years. So,
And you renewed your license?
yes, I renewed the license. They have all the vendors, and they say, I'm wondering, they renew the license, but they send me to the wrong address. So it was something wrong with the city when I changed the address.
Well, but my question is, if you've had a license, you were there since 1993, did you renew the license every year?
Yeah, every year.
Even through the years when you didn't get the mail?
Every year.
So you did actually have licenses every year? 20, 23, 20?
35 years.
You've had a license. So
Every
even if
year.
it didn't come to you, you went in and renewed it
Yes.
yourself?
Yes,
Thank you.
every year.
Any other questions from anyone?
I was just gonna ask Mr. Sagos, do you have evidence of your license with the correct address in there or your
And my
licenses?
newest was, I received it before
What is it that you're reaching for in your folder?
with the license.
Okay, can you pull the license out, please, and show it to council?
I got every year. I never stopped working.
Wait, because we're on the record here, just be careful. She's gonna review that and respond to it before we hear any additional testimony, okay? Just one moment. What is,
Um, for the record, the conversation that we were having, Mr. Sagos showed me the license that he's interested in handing up. I do have a copy of a different license on my screen that I was prepared to show to the board on the screen, but it's a different one, so I have no problem with him handing up what he intends
okay,
to.
is it the same, is that new address? The issue here is his argument is that it's a new address.
There is a different address.
Okay. Just for the record then, sir, would you mind giving it, the document? Is the address on that license, is that your current address? Or is the old address?
That's an old address.
No. They're asking the question is the address that's on that license, is that your current address?
Old address.
That's the old address? Okay, let me ask council, is the address you showing in the record different from that one?
There's two different addresses here.
Okay, show it to her again. Show it to her again.
Then you can let them know. The address on this form is not the address that he said that he's asking for it to be sent to.
Okay, all right, give it to him. Thank you.
Are we talking about the same vending location in
yes.
all instances on 13th
Same last
Street
number.
between Market and Ludlow?
Same last number, 35 years, every day.
This is current, this is the current address? Oh, well, I don't have any of that paper.
The correct address is the Byberry Road. They don't have it there. And I went through a couple times with LNI with the address.
25.
Where is the current address?
What are the licenses?
These are his vending.
No, that's not a vending.
Food establishment, retail, location is, that's his vending.
This is a vendor.
But this is also.
See what you're at. This, projected up. If that's. It's up to you. I don't have record is the problem. So if this is, if you want to clarify that this is the address. We're requesting. I think that it's just not clear yet what address you wanted it sent to. Because there were two things that were sent up, but neither of them have this address on it.
All right, thank you very much. We're back on the record. Anything else before we vote?
Yes, briefly, thank you. Mr. Chairman, while we were talking, Mr. Sagos clarified what address he would like the information sent to, and I can ask him that question if you would prefer.
Sure,
But Mr. Sagos, can you please tell us exactly what address you would like this sent to?
2320 Byberry Road, Attleboro, PA. The zip code is 19040.
And is it correct that both the license that you just passed up to the board and the notice at issue here were each sent to different addresses, but neither of them were the address that you just identified?
Exactly.
Okay.
I just wanted to
Sure,
clarify
thank
that.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
That's helpful. Yes.
Just one question, Mr. Zaras. So did you change your address to Byberry Road in 21?
21, yes.
Thank you.
And the Eclipse, it wasn't let me to change because they have unknown email, and I went in person. And I went more than once. And some of the letters, even now, they come to my new house from the city. Some they don't.
The letter that was sent to you that you attached to your appeal used an address on State Road in Drexel Hill.
I saw this house 2021 and I changed the address.
So there were three different addresses that are
The
involved.
one on Ludlow, I don't even know what is that.
Were the ones that were on the licenses
Yeah.
you,
I don't even know what's that.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's nothing else, we will vote on HA 2025 0000396, 13th between Market and Ludlow Streets, East Side, Elias Sagos, request for non-proton relief granted.
Request granted.
Request granted.
Request granted.
Mr. Sagos, your request to submit a late appeal has been granted. A regular appeal will be scheduled.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes, I believe, our non-pro-tunc hearings. Am I accurate on that? Okay, we will take a short executive session and return. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We're opening this hearing for today, April 24th, 2025, for Board of License and Review. Several preliminary matters. This is a formal hearing with a court reporter, so we would request everyone just be patient as we are presenting your testimony. There cannot be any talking over one another because the court reporter cannot create a clean record if that happens. Also, we ask everyone to be dressed properly. Men should not be wearing hats. You aren't to be laying down or reclining in your easy chair or your bed. So you need to be present. For the moment, if you're in a vehicle, we're asking you to pull over in a safe place. We will not hear your matter if you're moving in a vehicle. Also, preliminarily, the law department will give us a list of matters that are moot or moot complied. Please pay attention. If your address is called and it's noted as moot or moot complied, your matter is resolved for today. If you need to know the difference between moot and moot complied, please call the office. The administrator will explain it to you. We have a considerable number of cases today, and we would ask that you not interrupt the hearings in order to get an explanation. Thank you very much. The panel will introduce itself, then we will hear from the law department. Again, I'm Kenneth Woodson, board chair.
Ralph Pincus, board member.
Steve Pettit, board member.
Beverly Penn, board member.
Ryan McSherry, board counsel.
Richard Wade, board administrator.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll be here from the law department. Do you have any matters to present?
Yes, good afternoon, board members. Michael Rulo, RU LLO, on behalf of the city. Beginning with number 7 on the list, appeal ending 004298, 1959 North 23rd Street. Jose Rodriguez, that matter is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Turning to number 8 on the list, appeal ending 002820, 1500 Cotman Avenue, PNP Auto Services Incorporated. That matter is moot.
Thank you.
Turning to number 9, appeal ending 002818, 435 East Allegheny Avenue, a Ming Moon House Jin Hao. That matter was continued.
Okay, I also noted that there's a need for Mandarin interpreter at the next hearing.
That's correct.
Okay, so we'll note that as continued with the request for a Mandarin interpreter.
Thank you, board members.
Okay.
And then numbers 11 through, excuse me, my laptop froze, 19 on the list, all concern the same. I'm just getting an update right now. Okay, each of those cases would appear to have been withdrawn.
Okay.
And so I think I need to read those in order.
Yes, the last 4 digits and the address.
Okay, turning to number 11 first, appeal ending 000595 3319 Tilden Street, Tri-State Delivery Incorporated, withdrawn. Number 12, appeal ending 000596 5811 Alter Street, same appellant, has been withdrawn. Number 13, appeal ending 000597 4006 Petchen Street, same appellant, withdrawn. Number 14, appeal ending 000598, 1611 Wolf Street, same appellant, withdrawn. Number 15, appeal ending 002140, 2123 South 58th Street, same appellant, withdrawn. Number 16, appeal ending 002587, 2316 South Rosewood Street, same appellant, withdrawn. Number 17, appeal ending 002592, 2316 South Rosewood Street again, same appellant, withdrawn. Number 18, appeal ending 002595, also 2316 South Rosewood Street, same appellant, withdrawn. Number 19, appeal ending 002597, 8839 Danbury Street, same appellant, withdrawn. Moving to number 23 on the list, appeal ending 000125, 1442 North 7th Street, appellant Ophir Komarian. That matter is moot.
Moot.
I believe some of my colleagues do have some agreements or other matters to enter. I would just note that I can return because there was a standing question and the need for an attorney on number 10.
Well, let's address it while you're here.
Okay. I believe that there's a Spanish interpreter on that matter.
There's no interpreter currently here today.
It was marked on the list as needing a Spanish interpreter on the list I received.
Okay.
We can ask, I believe the appellant, the listed appellant is a Noricel Torres, and I believe I did see that individual on the Zoom. Yes, there they are.
Okay. Ms. Noricel Torres, do you require an interpreter?
Yes, please.
Okay. So just one moment, ma'am.
Okay,
Mr.
thank
Rolo,
you.
what is the city's position in this matter?
We cannot determine the relationship between Ms. Torres and the LLC owner. The LLC also does not have an attorney, so we needed to establish both of those. I don't want to speak anymore until there is an interpreter, though.
Okay. Ms. Torres, we're going to have to continue your case to bring in an interpreter, okay?
Okay.
And also, you need a lawyer to represent your case.
Mm,
You need a lawyer. Because there's an LLC that we believe is part of the ownership.
Let me see if we could just take a brief recess. I understand this is going to be continued. I might be able to find someone who can communicate this to
Okay.
Torres. So if we could just
Uh,
hold.
Yeah, we will, Ms. Torres, we will hold on for a moment. We're going to put you in a breakout room with someone who we believe can help with the communication.
I need to step downstairs, so just give me a minute.
Okay. All right, thank you. So we'll come back to you in a few minutes, okay?
okay.
Yes. Is, put Ms. Torres in the same room. Okay, while that's happening, any additional requests, preliminary matters?
I have two matters today. John Wazork on behalf of the city. First, number 27 on the list, appeal ending 0326. The address is 1409 East Oxford Street. The appellant is United Inspection Agency. The appellant's counsel, Mr. David Jaquette, is here, and I believe he submitted a continuance request to the board. So I believe we're just
Yes,
waiting.
we reviewed the request in the executive session and granted. So that matter has been continued.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good afternoon. Mr. Jaquette, put your name on the record, please, because we don't have that at the moment.
Of course, it's David Jaquette, Jacquette.
And your client is?
United Inspection Agency.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay,
May I be
And I have
excused?
one more matter.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Jaquette. Number 24 on the list, appeal ending 0223. The address is 6442 Lansdowne Avenue. The appellant is Mark Lawson. The city reached an agreement with the appellant, so that can be marked as a city affirm with a reduced fine of $2,500.
2,500?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And that concludes my business today. Thank you,
Thank
board.
you. Anyone else in the room please come forward if you have a preliminary matter.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Jane Huang, HWANG, on behalf of the city.
Yes.
Case number 5, appeal ending in 002096, 1007B Lehigh Avenue. It's the Philadelphia Suburban Development Corporation. My understanding is that was withdrawn yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah.
the record reflects that it was withdrawn.
And number 6 on the docket, appeal ending in 001950, 10,000 Frankfurt Avenue, Ashiva Honda. That was also withdrawn on Tuesday of this week, April
Yes.
22nd.
Okay, thank
That-
you.
That concludes my matters. May I
Okay.
excuse?
Yes, you excuse. Anyone else present? Any matters? Anyone online, did you have any preliminary matters from the law department? Please use the raised hand signal. Okay, Mr. Wade, we have, I think, several additional matters that you may have to read into the record.
Well, I don't believe there's an attorney from Revenue present, but I did confirm that case number 3, hearing appeal 0322-104 Chestnut Street, Felicia Wilson, has been withdrawn.
Okay, thank you. Noted it's withdrawn. Anything else from anyone?
There are a couple agreements that were executed by Ms. Aquino, who was helping with the Spanish
Yes,
interpreter.
okay, so we'll wait.
I've got one if I,
Yes, please.
Thank you, folks. Let's turn that camera back on. There we are. Good afternoon, members of the board. The city has just reached a settlement agreement with Mr. David Lowe. That is, he is appealing number 20 on our list. That is.
Counsel, would you put your name
Oh,
on the record, please?
My apologies, Mr. Pincus. Thomas Guyutsa for the city.
Okay,
This was number 20 on the list, HA 2025-000-088, at 311 North 13th Street.
excuse me.
20 on the list.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. The city has reached an agreement for a city affirm with a $1,250 fine.
Okay,
The agreement will be transmitted to the board later today.
thank you very much.
No trouble at all.
Okay,
Mr. Denenberg on the phone. Is he counsel in this matter?
He is counsel on this matter, yes.
oh, yes. Mr. Denenberg, would you mind unmuting yourself and confirming that in fact you concur?
And his counsel is not listed on.
I believe their firm was retained today.
Okay, but he's muted. Mr. Denenberg, are you in a position?
Yeah, it is not. It's another associate at the firm.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry, had a technical problem there.
okay. Your
My
name,
name is
sir?
my name is Ben Van Steenberg. I'm standing in for David Denenberg, and we do agree with the agreement as outlined by counsel.
Okay, have you submitted, your name been submitted yet? Because we don't have you listed as counsel.
I believe David did, but if he didn't, I will.
Just
I will-
confirm that for bookkeeping purposes, just administrative matters. Just want to make sure you're noted from going forward.
All right, understood.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good
Okay,
day.
have a good, okay, you excuse.
Thank you.
Thanks to the board.
Okay. Mr. Rollo?
My colleague, Mari, just actually spoke with the appellant, and so they're going to communicate on the phone, and they did kind of explain, Mari did explain the situation, so
What position should we take regarding today's appeal?
it should be continued for the need for a Spanish interpreter.
Okay, and she will be informed that she needs to hire an attorney?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. We'll note it as continued. Okay, any other, I think, Mr. Queen, you had a couple preliminary matters, correct?
Good afternoon, board.
Thank you to Ms.
Yeah,
It's Mari Aquino on behalf of the city, AQUINO. The first matter I want to bring to the board's attention is number 22 on today's list. Appeal ending 0112, address 851 Plank Road, appellant DeGaulle Brothers LLC. That was resolved with an agreement for a city of firm and a $500 fine.
500, thank you,
The agreement was forwarded to the board.
thank you.
The next matter is 25 on today's list. That's appeal ending 228, address 2045 North 8th Street, appellant Edward Rios. That was also resolved with an agreement, city of firm and a $1,000 fine.
Thank you.
And lastly, I want to draw the board's attention to number 21 on today's list. That's appeal ending 110, 934-36 West Dauphin Street, appellant Yona Construction LLC. I communicated with the appellant before today's hearing, and they have not retained counsel. And they may wish to request a continuance. I believe they're on the call.
Okay,
Yes,
is
I'm
it
right here.
Yona Construction LLC?
Yes.
Your name, sir? Please remove
My-
your hat.
My name is Igor Gitterman,
Okay, and you are representing whom?
Yona Construction. I'm the owner of Yona Construction.
Okay.
Excuse me, may I have the gentleman's last name again, please?
Yes, sir. Would
Gitterman,
you,
Giterman.
You get that, Mr. Kelly?
Yes, Chair,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, sir, you requesting a continuance today?
Yes, probably that would be the best case for me probably at this point.
Okay, do you have an attorney, to represent you?
And not right now. I was not aware that I need the attorney to represent me. I thought I submitted everything on time, but I just found out yesterday that it wasn't the case.
Okay, did you see the, violation notice?
Yeah, I saw the violation notice for the subcontractors, and when I received the audit form, I
Okay.
replied right away to the audit form. So I thought
Okay.
everything is good, and I was not.
Okay, well, corporations must be represented by an attorney before the board, okay? So we will give you a continuance to go hire an attorney.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, have a good day. Anything else?
That's everything for
That's
me.
it?
Thank you,
Okay.
board.
Anyone else? Thank you. Anyone else have any preliminary matters before we move on to the list? Okay, I guess not. Mr. Wade?
Calling case number 2, present in the room, hearing appeal ending 0128 19th Street between Commerce Street and Market. Imran Mateen.
Imran Mateen?
It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Ms. Johnson? Okay, sir, if you give us your name, please.
Imran Mateen.
To raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth so help you God? Okay, pull
May I-
that mic closer to you so they can hear you. That microphone there.
Speak. Somebody can run a mic on it.
No, what we need you to do, that microphone there is in front of you. Pull it closer to your face. There you go. So we need to hear you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Is that better?
If he could get the microphone closer, Your Honor, or Mr. Chair, that would be better.
Okay. We need to pull it just a little closer, sir.
Pull the base closer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Mateen, before we proceed, do you require an interpreter to help you with these proceedings?
Yes.
Okay. What language do you need?
Pushto.
Kushto?
Pushto.
Pushto. Okay, so, Mr. Johnson, that puts us in a position where we're gonna need to continue today's hearing.
City has no objection.
Okay, thank you. Sir, we will hire an interpreter to attend the next hearing. Okay, so in order for you to have a fair hearing, we need to have someone who can interpret everything for you in your native language. So today's hearing will be continued and we will reschedule with a interpreter, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. You excuse for today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Maybe you're next, Mr. Johnson. Just sit tight for a moment.
That brings us back to the top of the list. Case number 1, hearing appeal ending 0243 2809 Cotman Avenue, Shazeen's Aval, OV.
Okay,
Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
okay. Is anyone present? Should be Alvey. Ms. Alvey, are you present? Or anyone representing the interest of 2809 Cotman Avenue? Do we have anyone in the waiting room?
No one under that name.
Okay.
And just for the board's edification, there's no surprise that this individual has not appeared. This was an appeal at HA 2020 002043. It's an appeal of a vending license for a newsstand that has not been active in over 5 years.
Okay. So what's your pleasure?
The city is going to request that it be city affirmed failure to appear.
Okay.
This appellant listed 3158 Glenview Street. Notice of this hearing was sent to 3158 Glenview on 2/20/25.
Okay. Mr. Wade, was there a request for a continuance in the record for this?
I'd have to check.
I do have in the record, request for continuance from a Zira LV indicating that the appellant is their mother. On April 1st, they emailed the board administration indicating if we are unable to cancel, can we reschedule the hearing, unable to attend, and working to renew license to avoid revocation.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, any response to that request for continuance?
Just as a practical matter here, I'm going to make an offer of proof. The testimony will show that this particular newsstand hasn't been active since before the pandemic.
Okay,
And for that reason, it's the code requires the vending license to be revoked when there are more than 20 consecutive days of non-activity. That's the case. And for that reason, I don't think giving them more time for this hearing is going to have any effect on the case.
okay. Just a moment.
Couldn't have been calm.
Okay, regarding HA 2028-002-043, 2809 Cotman Avenue, Shanaz Alvi, the request for continuance, as noted earlier, has been denied. Moving forward, this matter was being dismissed for lack of appearance. What time do we have, Mr. Pincus?
2:01 PM.
2:01 PM. We just need to confirm service as well.
I would confirm service. It was 3158 Glenview. Notice of this hearing was sent to 3158 Glenview Street on 2/20/25.
Thank you. And so this matter is dismissed for lack of appearance.
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 Thank you. Okay.
This is case 4, hearing appealing 2187 2738 Germantown Ave, The Rare Shop, Germantown, Oxygen Incorporated.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Is the appellant present?
There was a listed attorney, Jeffrey Cooper, is not in the room. I don't see anyone anyone for The Rare Shop, Germantown, 2739 Germantown.
Okay, no one's responding. Please confirm service.
The appellant listed 2739 Germantown Avenue. Notice of this hearing was set to 2739 Germantown Avenue on 220. It was also set to 111 East Township Line Road, Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Jeffrey Cooper, Esquire.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, what is your pleasure?
The city is requesting this be marked as city affirmed failure to appear.
Thank you. What time do we have?
2:02 PM.
2:02 PM. Thank you. We will poll the board regarding HA 2024-002187, 2739 Germantown Avenue, The Rare Shop, Germantown Avenue, Germantown Oxygen, Inc. Dismissed for lack of appearance.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
Dismissed for failure to appear.
And I'm going to ask, can the city's witnesses from the vending unit and from the Department of Health be dismissed?
Yes, the witnesses are dismissed.
Thank you.
Okay, what's next?
Case 28, hearing appeal ending 0414 757 South 15th Street, Roman Ovtrovsky, doing business as Omega Home Builders.
Who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Lee Bagelman on behalf of the city.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bagelman. Who's representing the interests of Roman Ovtrovsky, DBA Omega Home Builders? Omega Home Builders.
I didn't get an attorney. I didn't realize. I thought I could represent myself.
Your name, sir?
Roman Ovrutsky. I'm the owner of Omega Home Builders.
Okay. The corporately owned entities, LLCs or corporations must be represented by an attorney at these hearings. So you'll need to have an attorney represent your interests. Okay.
Can we do like a recess for like 5 minutes? I can get an attorney on the call to pass.
Well, no, we're going to continue this matter because your attorney probably needs to prepare a defense for you, and I doubt if they're going to do that on the fly.
Well, he was gonna get relinquish to basically to me to explain what happened.
I'm not understanding. What we're going to do in order to keep the record clear, we're going to continue this matter, and
Okay.
it will be rescheduled.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and by the way, just for the record, please dress appropriately when you return.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is the last matter on the list, case.
Can I go?
Yes.
Just get off. Thank you.
Excuse.
Case 29, hearing appeal ending 05. Apologies. Case 29, hearing appeal ending 5224, 627 and 29 North 16th Street, Wendy Coyne.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, members of the board. I think that's my colleague, Mr. Rulo,
Okay.
who I think might be outside the room talking to someone.
Someone will check. Do we have Oleg Sokolov Esquire representing the appellant?
Yes, good afternoon, Chair Woodson, members of the board. Oleg Sokolov on behalf of Fortis Construction LLC.
Thank you very much. As soon as you get your opposing counsel, we will get started. Mr. Sokolov, do you have any witnesses for today?
Yes, I do. Mr. Anthony Masharia, representative of, the entity is on the line.
Okay. He will need to identify, okay, I think I see him now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any luck? Okay, Mr. Suck.
Here he's coming in the room.
Oh, okay.
Pardon the delay, board members.
Okay, so just put your name on the list, on the record, please.
Michael Rulo, RULLO, on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, thank you. All righty, Mr. Rulo, you have any witnesses we need to swear?
Just to clarify, this is for the Fortis construction matter?
This is for 627 to 629 North 16th Street.
Yes, that case is, it's incorrectly listed as, I believe it's Nancy Kozin. The appellant is actually Fortis Construction.
Okay, wait a minute, let's go back to the beginning because I'm a little confused. Well, this is number 29. Our numbers are HA 2024-005224. And the address is 627 and 629 North 16th Street. And Wendy Coyne, Koin, is listed as the appellant.
Yes, my understanding is Ms. Coyne is a member of the LLC or an employee, and so filed it in her own name rather than in the name of Fortis Construction, which the city will preserve the objection on that ground, as it does in most cases. But I know that the board's practice is typically to allow the appeal to proceed in the name of the LLC.
Okay, now we do have an attorney, Mr. Sokolov, who's on the record as representing the appellant. Sir, would you identify the name of your client, please?
The client is Fortis Construction LLC. Ms. Coyne, Wendy, was a former employee, and the letter from LNI of the violation and suspension of the contractor's license was issued in her name originally.
Okay, thank you. All righty, Mr. Rulo, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, I do. I have Supervisor Ken Perlak. Although with your permission, I'd like to start with just a brief opening.
Yes, but let me swear Mr. Perlak in and then you can start. Okay, Mr. Perlak, raise your right hand to be sworn.
Can you see my hand? I got rotator cuff surgery.
Okay.
Excuse me for interrupting. This is Board Counsel Ryan McSherry. I don't believe I have a copy. I think some of the board members may not have a copy of this appeal form.
Oh. Okay.
In terms of the exhibits, the city did submit exhibits, or?
Just one moment, I'm gonna go off the record just for a few moments. Everyone just, I'm gonna go off the record just for a moment.
Just now? That you received? I don't know if this might have been later. This was continued from 4/10/2024. That's why it was, I think it was a quick turnaround continuance. Yeah. Fortis. Let me copy these links. Continue for council. It won't let me resend it with the link. For some, like, my regular Outlook isn't opening.
Email address I have. I have a copy of the appeal form that's done, that email to the hearing report, and I don't have a copy of the.
We're going to go back on the record. Mr. Rolo, do you have access to, can you quickly resend to the board your exhibits? We're having some problems finding things, so we're not sure what happened here.
Yes, I will do so right now.
Okay, Mr. Sokoloff, you have copies of everything, correct?
I do, yes.
Okay, thank you. And we'll ask you, of course, as we proceed to share your files so we can see them freshly. So we apologize for the delay, but we're going to try to untangle this conundrum for a moment here.
Understood. Thank you, Chair.
See if you can, I just sent you something, see if you can open it.
Board members, there are two separate packets because of the file sizes. I'm sending them in two emails.
Okay, thank you.
The first email has been sent and the second email has now been sent.
Thank you. Okay. I think I was in the middle of swearing in your witness, Mr. Paralak.
Yeah, it's not letting me grant access from this, I don't know.
Okay, you should have. Mr. Paralak, if you raise to the degree that you can, your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. Okay. All righty. It may require that we do a little repeat as we go along. So, Mr. Rolo, let's proceed.
Okay, I'm just going to start with a brief opening.
Okay.
So board members, this appeal stems from an egregious course of conduct that resulted in the department issuing a notice of suspension of Fortis Construction's license for 2 years. The record will show that the conduct underlying that suspension is alarming, to say the least. Specifically, first, that Fortis obtained permits through forged and fraudulent neighborhood acknowledgement of receipt forms, that they commenced work without having an initial permit inspection, that they commenced with excavation work in a basement without the required site permit, that they commenced with that excavation work without having a special inspector on site continuously, as required by the inspection forms for safety reasons, that they failed to provide a subcontractor list within 3 days of commencing work, and then finally, that they failed to cooperate with an investigation by the Audits and Investigation Unit. So these actions violate at least 3 provisions of prohibited conduct by a contractor in section 9-1004, subsection 7 of the code. And it provides more than a sufficient basis for the 2-year suspension under the suspension and revocation section of the Philadelphia Code, which is 9-1004, subsection 9. Put simply, given what this record is going to show, a 2-year suspension is not only merited, it's generous. And I do actually have 3 witnesses that will be testifying today. The first is Supervisor Ken Perilek, and then the neighbors at this property are also on this Zoom and will be testifying as to that same issue concerning those neighborhood acknowledgement forms. So with that, I can begin with Supervisor Perilek.
Okay.
If I may, Chairman, I would like to give a brief opening as well.
Yes. Yes.
Certainly appellant takes issue with Mr. Rouleau's demonstration of alarmist issues here. These are standard construction violations. Violations were issued for certain underpinning and excavation related work that was then stopped immediately. An audit was undergone. The appellant took every step required by the city to go through the audit. And in fact, and I believe Mr. Rouleau will agree that we've stipulated to the fact that at this time there are no open violations on the site, that eventually permits were obtained. And this is, while we don't dispute the fact that the violations as initially issued were rightful, we certainly dispute this representation that it's egregious conduct. As we went through all of the audits, we complied with all of the required documentation in order to eventually not only obtain the permits required, but to close out the violations. As for the issues related to neighbors and these purportedly forged signatures, the board will come to see from the appellant's defense today that 2 things happened. One, that Fortis specifically was not individually involved in obtaining these signatures. What they will also come to find out is that the neighbors have agreed and acknowledged that they did sign, whether they contend that the initial neighbor acknowledgement forms were fraudulently obtained or their signatures were fraudulent on them, did eventually sign neighbor acknowledgement forms after the RCO, the Registered Community Organization in the area, negotiated a good neighbor agreement. Most communications with the neighbors was done through the head of the RCO, who is a lawyer herself, that being Patricia Freeland. So the appellant certainly takes issue with representations of egregious conduct of any kind. This is a construction company that has done dozens of similar construction projects without any complaints, without any issues other than the standard issues that arise during construction that, as every contractor in the city has dealt with, eventually get complied with. And this one got complied with even after a heightened level of scrutiny, that being the Audits and Investigations Unit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Rouleau, let's proceed.
Okay. Supervisor Perilek, what is your position with the Department of License and Inspections?
I am the interim manager.
Okay, Mr. Perilek, we'll need you to get a little closer so we barely hear you. If you can somehow enhance the volume on your speaker.
So I'm the interim manager. Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, let me check with the court reporter. Mr. Kelly, are you able to hear him?
I have a headset I can put on if needed.
I can hear him. There is some distortion.
Yes, I also
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time.
Okay, Mr.
hearing
Perilek, is there a headset or something that would be helpful?
Yes, bear with me
Okay.
1 second. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear
I
me?
think that helps a bit, so.
Okay.
Mr. Rulo, if you would restate your question? You're muted, Mr. Rulo.
Supervisor Perlick, what is your position with the Department of License and Inspections?
I am the interim manager,
Okay, of what unit?
audits and investigation manager,
And in that position, what are some of your responsibilities?
to to oversee the audits and investigation unit, the supervisors, the inspectors, and to make sure all violations are issued correctly.
And
Members of the board, I apologize. I don't mean to be difficult by any means, but if I'm going to cross-examine a witness for a violation of this
Well, we understand, we
severity,
can't hear it, we can't either.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I just didn't know if it was just on my end.
No, no, it's not just on your end.
I'm also
Mr.
struggling.
Paralek, I'm not sure what do we need to do here. Is there a setting on your headset that would change things?
This is the first time I'm using this headset. Can you hear me better now? This is the first time I'm using this headset. Can you hear me better now?
It began, then it just trailed off.
Mr. Paralek, would it be possible for you to come over to 1515 Arch Street? Because there's a tremendous amount of static on your line. I don't know that there's anything that you can do personally that might correct that.
Actually, no, I'm not allowed to drive right now. I just got rotator cuff surgery a couple weeks ago, so I'm
So
working
you're
remotely.
you're not in the city at MSB?
No, I'm working from home right now.
I
May I
understand,
suggest
sorry.
perhaps putting this on hold for a second? And I will try to work this. I will separately call Supervisor Perlick and see if we can troubleshoot this.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go off the record then. It's now 25 after 2 on the record. Mr. Kelly, you ready for us? Just give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Well, we will go back. Mr. Rulo, are you prepared to proceed with your witness?
Yes, and I believe we've resolved the interference issues. We'll test it again. Supervisor Perlick, can you just speak real quickly?
Yes, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes,
Okay,
thank
great.
you very much.
Okay.
Okay, let's proceed.
So I'm going to start again. So Supervisor Perlick, what is your position with the Department of License and Inspections?
I am the interim manager of the audits and investigation unit that oversees licensing compliance.
How many years have you been with the department?
10 years.
Did you serve in any other roles before this current position?
With the department, yes. I started out as a building inspector for 5 years. Then I was a construction inspection unit supervisor. And I moved over to be the audits and investigation unit supervisor, and then moved on to be the interim manager of the audits and investigation unit.
And do you hold any certifications?
Yes, 8.
And what are some of those certifications?
So I'm a building code official. I'm certified in the International Building Code, International Residential Code, Mechanical Code, Plumbing Code, Energy Code, Mechanical Code, Accessibility Code. I think I got them all.
All right. And are you familiar with the property located at 627 North 16th Street?
I am, yes.
And have you reviewed the records for that property?
Yes,
Where are those records stored?
on Eclipse.
Okay, what's the Eclipse system?
The Eclipse system is where all our permits are issued and all our records are kept up.
Okay, and with the board's permission, I'd like to share my screen.
Yes, please.
Oop. Chairman, we are getting at least I'm getting an echo when you speak.
The mic is on, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is that better?
At least I'm still getting an echo, but I guess we can.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we corrected it.
Supervisor Perlick, can you see what's been displayed on the screen as City Exhibit 1?
Yes, can you blow it up a little more?
Yes, I can. And pardon me, I'm having trouble. I would just ask opposing counsel, can we stipulate to, that the 627 North 16th Street LLC purchased the property on February 21st, 2024?
Yes,
Okay, and so we can stipulate to the entry of this exhibit?
yes,
Okay. I'm going to move to what has been marked City Exhibit 2. Mr. Sokolov, can we stipulate to the fact that this address that's listed here for 627 North 16th Street LLC is the same address as Fortis Construction?
yes,
And so we can stipulate to the entry of this exhibit?
yes.
Okay. I'm going to move to what's been marked City Exhibit 3. I need to rotate this real quickly. Supervisor Paralek, do you recognize this photograph?
I do.
And where was this photograph obtained?
627 North 16th Street.
Where did L&I get this photograph from?
So this photograph is from Inspector Anif Hedens, I believe. It's stamped at the bottom of the page.
And what is the date of that stamp?
2/29/2024.
Mr. Chair, I would object to Mr. Paralek testifying about any of these photographs. No foundation has been laid. He's not the person who took these photographs. And I do not believe he's a custodian of records for L&I.
I can do a voir dire of him to establish that he is a custodian of records, and he has already testified to the fact that he has reviewed the records for this property in L&I's database. The city contends that this is a business record, and it does not matter if Supervisor Paralek took this photograph since it's been kept in the ordinary course. I can ask those questions of Supervisor Paralek now, if the board would like.
Yes.
Okay, Supervisor Paralek, what is the L&I's process for storing documents?
So for the case, any case files that are issued, photos are uploaded into the documents tab that are to be seen by anybody that's got access to Eclipse.
And those are maintained in the ordinary course of business?
They are.
Okay. And did this photograph come from that Eclipse system?
It did.
And did you review the dates of when that was uploaded in the system?
It was well, the timestamp on this photo is 2/29/2024. Most photos are uploaded through the inspector's phone. So they take the picture at the site and it goes right into the system.
And this photograph was obtained from that Eclipse system?
Yes, through case file CF 2024-015334.
With that, will the board accept this and allow the testimony to continue?
Yes, please proceed. Objections overruled.
I'm moving to the second photograph in this packet. What is the date of this photograph?
2/29/2024.
And it also comes from the Eclipse system, correct?
Correct.
What is shown in this photograph?
It appears to be a gutted kitchen where the cabinets were removed. The flooring was removed.
And this is at the property 627 North 16th?
I believe so. It's the same case file that was listed from the last picture.
Thank you. And at the time that this photograph was taken, were any permits issued?
Not at that time.
Okay. And what is shown in this photograph?
That appears to be the living room on the first floor. There's a staircase going upstairs.
Okay, I'm going to move on to this, excuse me. And on that point, when was the first time that a permit was obtained for this property?
In July.
Okay, and I'm going to move on. I got to rotate this.
What year was the permit obtained? July of?
2024.
Board members, the volume, at least for me, is extremely low when we are hearing questions from you, and I'm struggling to hear the board. I don't know if that's the same for Mr. Sokolov, but it looked like Mr. Kelly was shaking his head in agreement.
Okay, well.
It's much better there.
Okay.
Okay. Supervisor Paralek, the document on this screen right now is entitled an acknowledgement of receipt. Can you explain generally what is an acknowledgement of receipt?
So in an acknowledgement of receipt, needs to be signed by the adjoining neighbors. It has to be signed prior to the permit application. So this is given a description of the nature of the work, the timeline of the work, details of monitoring to be performed on the adjacent properties, projection proposed to be installed on the adjacent property. So this has to be signed by the neighbors prior to the permit application. It needs to be submitted with the permit application. And then once the permit is obtained and the work is going to start, they have to notify the neighbor 10 days prior to the start of work. And that's an agreement that's signed. So that the neighbor signs this agreement, and that by signing that acknowledgement, it basically says in section C, by signing acknowledgement that was provided in the information listed, this acknowledgement receipt does not constitute an agreement to enter the property, perform work, or property or otherwise waive any legal rights. It's just an acknowledgement.
Okay. And are you familiar with the specific documents that displayed here?
Yes.
How are you familiar with this document?
This document was uploaded to the permit at the application phase.
Okay. And so this was also obtained from the city's Eclipse system?
Yes.
And how did you become familiar with this specific document?
I was emailed from the Andrew Biggin of 629 North 16th Street.
And with that, I will zoom in a little bit more. In the section entitled Adjacent Property Owner Acknowledgement, what is the name listed?
In section C, Andrew Biggin.
And what is the date of that document? Of that signature?
It looks like it's 9/19/24.
And when you're reviewing the records, do you know when this document was uploaded?
It would have been uploaded at the application stage. I don't have the exact date of it.
And when did that application come in?
I don't have that date in front of me. I know the permit was issued in July.
Okay, so this would have been
it would have
submitted.
been, yeah.
This would have
That might have been that may be a 4 on the date. I can't tell if it's a 4 or a 9.
Okay, I'm going to move on to this. If you look down here, what signature is down here?
Anthony Messeri,
Okay, and what's the date on this section?
4/22/24.
Okay, and so this is the signature of the owner or the owner's representative. Did I read that correctly here?
Project owner or owner's representative, yes.
I'm going to move down to the next document. What is this document?
Acknowledgement of receipt of construction or demolition
And
project
it's-
information.
And it's also for 627 North 16th Street?
Yes.
And can you see in this adjacent property owner acknowledgement, what is the name of the individual who's listed here?
Jonathan Oler,
Okay, and is there a signature that's included there?
yes.
And what is the date of this document?
4/19/24.
And does this include the same individual in terms of project owner here?
It does.
Okay, and
It-
the date is April 22nd, 2024, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And with these documents, again, when did they first come to your attention to review them?
So after the stop work order went into effect, so we went out to the job because the contractor was removing buckets of dirt through the basement window. So a stop work order was issued at that point because there was no special inspector on site. So once the case file was issued and a stop work order was issued, we were emailed from the adjacent property owners of these documents.
Okay, and when did that stop work order go into effect?
It was, I believe it was July 27th.
Okay, I'm going to move down to what's been marked City Exhibit 4. Are you familiar with this document?
Let me read that. Yes,
Okay, and where did this document come from?
Andrew Biggin.
Okay, and was this obtained in the course of your investigation?
Yes.
And what did Mr. Biggin, did you speak with Mr. Biggin?
Yes.
Okay, and in speaking with him, did you learn anything?
Objection, Chair, this would be hearsay testimony.
Acknowledge that we do allow some level of hearsay, given the nature of his testimony, plus it was this direct conversation, so we will allow it.
And Chairman, on that point, we obviously maintain that this is admissible, but as soon as I am done these two exhibits, I would like to call the two neighbors who are noted on these agreements so that we can have their testimony on the same subject, which should resolve any objection on that point.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is this document?
This is a document stating that Mr. Biggin's signature was forged.
And when did you receive this document?
This was September 11th of 2024.
And if I zoom in here, what does Mr. Biggin report in terms of his first interactions with the individual who signed that acknowledgement of receipt form?
So it says my first contact with Anthony Masseri was via email on 8/14/2024, stating he would provide the required notice of adjoining neighbors materials in the next day or so. A week later, 8/21/2024, I did finally receive another email and downloaded the link to all these forms and notices, which I downloaded and are in my possession. I've not yet signed the acknowledgement of receipt from pending resolution to this situation.
And again, so what was the date of that acknowledgement of receipt we reviewed previously?
It was April 11 or 14. It was in April. I would have to go back to it.
And I'm gonna zoom out. This is the second document in that packet. What is this document?
This is from Jonathan Oler. It's a statement. It says, per your request, this is my signed document stating that my signature was forged on the required acknowledgement of receipt of construction or demolition project information form for 627 North 16th Street. At no time was I given a copy of any blueprints or any insurance information as required, nor did any engineer ever get in contact with me or get access to my adjoining property. The forged signature also has my last name misspelled.
And am I correct that the date of this document is July 30th, 2024?
Correct.
Okay. And you also spoke with Mr. Oler, correct?
Yes.
With that, board members, out of respect for the neighbors' times and so that we can resolve the issues on this specific factual question, I would like to pause Supervisor Perelik's testimony and call Andrew Biggin as the city's next witness.
Okay.
Just reserving the right to cross-examine.
Yes,
Mr.
absolutely.
Perelik.
Absolutely. This part is just, I wanted to make sure he has all his testimony out, Mr. Sokolov, so you can give a complete cross-examination.
Understood, Chair, and if I make any, some objections are strictly for the purpose of the record, obviously.
Understood. Mr. Rollo?
I believe you need to swear in Mr. Biggin.
I don't see a Mr. Bacon.
He's showing up on my screen. Mr. Biggin, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, now I see him. Okay, Mr. Biggin, would you just give us your name, sir?
Andrew Biggin.
Biggin, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give now will be the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. You can place your hand down.
And Mr. Biggin, where do you live?
I live at 629 North 16th Street.
And where is that property located in relation to 627?
It's the adjoining property just to the north.
How long have you lived in your home?
16 going on 17 years.
Okay, and I want to turn back to the testimony that just occurred. I'm going to zoom up to this other document that you heard Supervisor Perelik testify to. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and how are you familiar with this document?
I received a copy of it. I believe it was from Kenneth Perelik himself. I requested it from the L&I department.
Okay. And you heard some testimony from communications with you and Supervisor Perelik about whether or not this is your signature. Do you remember ever signing this document?
No.
Did you sign? Is that your signature on this document?
It is not my signature.
And when was the first time that you had any contact with representatives of Fortis Construction?
August 14th of 2024.
And how did those contacts come about?
I received an email from Anthony Massieri that said he would be sending me the required information that this form would be acknowledging in the next day or so. A week later, I did finally receive that information.
And did you eventually sign an acknowledgement of receipt form?
I did. I did. I signed an acknowledgement of receipt on September 17th of 2024 after the neighbor agreement that Mr. Sokoloff mentioned was negotiated with Patricia Friedland, myself, Anthony Massieri, and Jonathan Aller.
So it was a separate, I believe it was described as a good neighbor agreement.
Right, good neighbor agreement. That was the one, right?
And so did that impose additional conditions for managing the property?
The good neighbor agreement did, yes.
Okay. And just to be clear, you agree that this is Anthony Massieri's, listed as Anthony Massieri here?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
This is the same, excuse me, I'll rephrase. This is the same person who contacted you in August, correct?
I certainly believe so, yes.
Okay. That does it for my questions for Mr. Biggin. I would like to call Mr. Oler now.
Okay, before you do that, I'll offer Mr. Sokoloff an opportunity to cross.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Biggin.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Biggin, you stated you did eventually sign, and Mr. Rulo, if you don't mind, would you stop sharing screen so I can share? Thank you. All right, Mr. Biggin and board members, are you able to see that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Biggin, you stated you did sign a acknowledgement of receipts form, correct?
I did, yes.
Is this the form that you did sign?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and you signed it on September 17th, correct?
2024, yes.
And at this time, you had already alleged to Mr. Paralek and members of License and Inspection that there was a previously forged acknowledgement form, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to August 14th, when you when you said that was the first time that Mr. Massieri contacted you, did you communicate with anyone else related to the construction at 627?
I did.
Okay. I'm sorry, you said you did?
Yes.
And who is that you communicated with?
Patricia Friedland, the president of the Community Development Corporation, the RCO in
Okay.
question.
And is it your testimony? Pardon me, sir?
And my neighbor, Jonathan Aller.
On the other side?
On the other side.
And
And
no problem. Thank you. When did you begin having communications about the construction that was to be undertaken at 627 with Ms. Freeland or Mr. Aller?
Within days of settlement in February of 2024.
Okay.
When I noticed unpermitted demolition going on at the property next to me.
And when you say unpermitted demolition, what is it specifically that you're claiming was unpermitted?
There were no L&I permits issued at the time, and there was demolition going on inside a property in a historic district.
Is the demolition that you're speaking of right now related to those pictures that we saw of removed cabinetry?
I didn't see those particular things, but I saw other work being done through the windows of the house.
What is the work that you saw done?
I saw, I think I've sent some of them to Mr. Rulo, pictures and videos of people inside the house sweeping up debris.
Okay, so you saw
demolition debris.
But you're not aware of what actual work was undertaken as part of that?
Well, I saw a lot of demolition being carted out the front door, loaded into trucks, U-Haul trucks, and other kinds of trucks. So
Okay,
I was
but again,
fairly aware of what was going on.
But you're not aware specifically of the extent of demolition that was undertaken when you saw debris being moved into trucks, are you?
I'm going to object. I believe that this has been asked and answered.
Sustain. And also, Mr. Sokoloff, that wasn't part of Mr. Beggin's original testimony. So, if you could narrow in on what he testified about.
Sure. When you started communicating with Ms. Freeland, were any construction documents furnished to you through Ms. Freeland?
No, not
Okay.
initially, no.
When were construction documents first furnished to you?
I'm not sure. It would probably have been the July or August timeframe. Patricia Friedland had been in contact with Mr. Massieri's architect, Ian Toner, and I believe she had received some documents from him in the July timeframe.
Going back to the April form that you allege was forged, are you aware of who actually signed that form? Signed your name to that form, if it's not you?
I don't know who did, I don't know. No, I'm not aware.
You're not aware whether it was Mr. Masseri or somebody else?
Correct.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Very briefly, board
Well-
members, just one redirect. Just to be clear, Mr. Biggin, when did you first see that demolition activity?
I'd have to go back within a day after settlement.
Do you recall when that generally was?
Late February, I'm going to say around the February in the 20s sometime. You had the deed document up earlier as an exhibit, so that would give you the date of settlement.
That's sufficient. That does it with my questions.
Recross, please.
Yes.
Mr. Biggin, since you've now discussed the demolition activity, is it correct to say that all you saw was debris being removed?
No.
You're able to testify as to specific demolition that you saw being undertaken on the interior of the property?
Well, I think I mentioned that a minute ago. Yes, I saw people sweeping up rubble from the floor and putting in trash cans, and then and then later at separate times I saw trash cans coming out the front door full of rubble.
Okay, so again, just to be clear on your testimony, you're testifying that you saw debris being removed, but you didn't actually see any demolition being undertaken.
I'm going to object again. I think that this same question has been asked 15 times in varying forms.
Okay.
Well, I just want to be very clear for the record
Okay,
that
I'll allow that. Mr. Biggin, respond to the degree that you understand the question.
Could you restate the question again?
Sure, you've testified a number of times now, and I will agree that repeatedly, as I've asked you repeatedly, that you saw debris being removed or swept up, but did you actually see any demolition occurring, meaning anything being removed from the walls or any kind of sledgehammers or anything that
I didn't see that kind of work, but I certainly
Okay.
heard it with my ears.
And by hearing it, you're able to determine that it was demolition that was occurring, and which demolition specifically?
I can't say that for definite sure, but it
Okay.
certainly seemed to be demolition.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Biggins.
Biggin,
I apologize.
Yep. Mr. Biggin, I do have a question for you. Mr. Rulo, the document, the good neighbor document, is that a separate form from that acknowledgement?
Yes, that was a separate agreement that was reached between Mr. Massieri, Patricia Friedland in her role as the head of the RCO in our neighborhood, and
Okay.
the adjoining neighbors.
Okay, is that being offered, Mr. Rulo, as evidence?
Yes, that is that has been offered as, excuse me, I believe it is the final exhibit in the city's packet.
Okay. Have you gotten to that yet in your presentation, or?
No,
did I
it's
miss
second to last. The city, we can stipulate to the fact that if council is okay with it, that on September 18th, this good neighbor agreement was signed. And as a result of that agreement, a acknowledgement of receipt form, specifically the one that Mr. Sokolov has on the screen here, I believe that's September 17th, was signed. So there's no dispute that this good neighbor agreement was signed, and that ultimately in September, a acknowledgement of receipt form was submitted. Can we stipulate to those facts, Mr. Sokolov?
We can certainly stipulate to the fact that both Mr. Biggin and the neighbor, I believe at 625, is that correct? Mr. Aller both executed acknowledgement forms in September. I think the other one, I have it on the screen now, is also September 17th, in fact.
Do you have any further questions?
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that there was two separate forms. Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
I would now call Jonathan Oler.
Good afternoon, folks.
Mr. Oler, would you raise your right hand to be sworn?
Yes,
Do
sir.
you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can place your hand down.
Good afternoon,
I
Mr.
apologize. Mr. Rulo, you're able to share screen now, yes?
I should be able to. I don't think I am. If I am already, let me know.
Depends what you're going to show.
I'm not currently. I'm going to do that momentarily.
I just wanted to make sure that you have the ability. Thank you.
Rulo?
Yes, sorry, I'm trying to technical challenges. Mr. Oler, where do you live?
At 625 North 16th Street.
And is that located next door to 627 North 16th Street?
Correct.
How long have you lived in your property?
Over 20 years.
And are you familiar, this is again City Exhibit 3, and I'm going down to the second page of it. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Are you familiar with this document?
I became familiar with it after receiving it.
Okay. And when did you receive it?
God, I want to say, was it after July, after they started digging?
Okay. And I'm going to go down here to the, which is called the adjacent property owner acknowledgement. Do you see that it says Jonathan Oler there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything about the last name that strikes out to you?
Yes, they spelled my name wrong.
Okay. And is that your signature there?
Not even close.
And for the sake of clarity, do you recall signing this on April 19th of 2024?
No, sir.
Okay. When was the first time you became familiar with Anthony Mascieri?
After they started digging, and I was surprised. So I reached out to Civic to see if there were permits pulled.
Okay. And when about was that?
July 26th, I believe.
And you heard Mr. Biggin testify about what he described as demolition activity in February of 2024. Did you see any activities in February of 2024?
They started doing demo work at February 22nd. And that was at least 9 o'clock in the morning, because it went through my entire property. It could be heard throughout the entire property.
And did you see any debris being removed from the property?
Yes, they removed a fair amount of debris.
Okay. That does it for my questions for Mr. Oler.
Mr. Oler, just what was the start date of demolition according to you?
February 22nd, 2024 at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you. Any cross-examination, Mr. Sokoloff?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Oler. So again, just let's talk about what specific type of demolition work did you see undertaken?
All I saw was debris being moved, but it was loud enough where it could be heard and vibrations were felt throughout my entire building.
But you're not aware whether that was just removal of cabinetry or removal of interior non-load bearing walls or other interior demolition, are you?
I was not in the property. I could just agree to the amount of debris that came out would be more than just removing cabinets.
Well, are you a construction expert?
No, I just saw the debris outside.
Okay, so you do not definitively know what the debris was that was being removed, was it? Do you?
No.
And again, the noise, you said you heard noises. Are you able to definitively ascertain whether it's just construction noise or demolition of any kind?
It was pounding and the sounds of a sawzall.
Okay. How are you able to identify the sound of a sawzall?
I have one.
And
the walls are thin.
Do you know specifically what was being sawzawed?
It sounded like the first floor kitchen, as well as it just went through the entire building to the extent where I was worried about any possible damage done to mine.
Did you report anything to LNI at that time?
I had assumed that they had the proper permits at that time.
And I just want to go, you did also eventually sign a neighbor acknowledgement form, correct?
Correct.
And that was also after the good neighbor agreement was negotiated?
Yes.
And again, you as well do not know who it is that signed your name, albeit spelled incorrectly, on the April acknowledgement form, correct?
No.
But at the time you signed the acknowledgement form in September, you had already had a suspicion that someone had forged your name on a form in April, correct?
Well, no, it was from when I received the copy of it, I realized that my signature was forged.
Well, you did write that email to Mr. Paralek in July, correct? Saying that there was a forgery?
Correct.
Okay. But in September, you did sign a subsequent form?
Correct.
Very simple question, but if you're contending that there was forgery of your name in April, alerting LNI of that, why is it that you're signing the form again in September?
Part of the good neighbor.
Okay, and you were involved in the negotiation of the good neighbor agreement?
Yes.
And you were satisfied with the benefits of that agreement as related to your property and this construction?
Enough.
All right, nothing further. Thank you, Mr. Oler.
Very quickly, if I may
Yes.
redirect. Mr. Oler, so as Mr. Sokolov indicated, you did eventually sign that acknowledgement of receipt form. Would you have signed that without getting that good neighbor agreement?
No.
And what were some of the things that you were requiring as a result of that good neighbor agreement?
I would object. The good neighbors agreement's a document that speaks for itself. What he would have required versus what is evidenced in the document is irrelevant.
I think it's relevant to him determining what he was demanding as part of that negotiation process. The
Okay, I'm gonna
document speaks for
overrule the
itself.
objection. I'm going to overrule the objection. Let's proceed. Please ask the question, Mr. Rulo. Mr. Oler, please respond.
I'm sorry, ask again, please.
In the process of, excuse me, starting over again. To provide that acknowledgement of receipt form that you executed in September 2024, what were you demanding as part of a negotiation process?
All the documents that were required for the first time that we were never given.
And any other safety measures that you were requesting?
Yes, there was concerns over damage done to my property, concerns over the backyard, a retaining wall. Due to the forgery, there was a low trust.
Okay. That does it for my questions unless the board has any.
Okay, any additional questions, Mr. Oler?
Yes. Mr. Oler, is the construction at the 627 North 16th Street substantially complete at this point?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. Has there been any damage to your property during this process?
There's been some concerns about the retaining wall in the back,
Well,
as well as
concerns,
random.
but has there been any evident damage?
Yes, there's been some cracks.
Have you taken any action related to those cracks or had them investigated anyway?
We've asked that Anthony address them.
Okay, and what was Mr. Masheri's response?
He kind of blew it off.
Okay. When was that?
I don't know off the top of my head. Sorry.
All right, and so you have been communicating with Mr. Masheri post July, let's say?
We've been communicating through the Civic Association.
So you directed those complaints about the cracks to Mr. Masheri directly or to the Civic Association?
Through the Civic Association.
Okay, so you have not spoken to Mr. Masheri directly?
No.
All right, thank you. Nothing further, Mr. Oler.
Okay. I'd ask that the witnesses remain so that in case there are any additional follow-up questions. Okay, Mr. Rulo, please. Carol, you're Mr. Paralak, I believe, correct?
If yes, Supervisor Paralak. So Supervisor Paralak, you just heard testimony about what was alleged to be demolition activity in February of 2024. When was the first permit obtained authorizing work?
In July.
And again, those acknowledgement of receipt forms were from April of 2024, correct?
Yes.
So any of the work that you heard Mr. Oler and Mr. Biggin testify, based on that testimony, is that stuff that would require a permit?
Yes.
I'm going to share my screen again. Man, we are all having tech problems today. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see what's been displayed as City Exhibit 5?
Yes.
What is this document?
It's a notice of commercial building permit.
Okay, and have you reviewed the records for this permit? Do
Yes.
you remember approximately when the application was filed for this permit?
I don't know when the application start was, but it was issued on 7/12 of 2024. So it was
And-
prior to that.
Okay. And if I may direct your attention, and I will zoom in here. There's this section called approved scope of work, and it references excavation work. Can you explain why this is there?
Yeah, because a site permit is required, so it's an SP permit is required to do any type of excavation, and you have to have additional insurance. So not any contractor could just get the site permit. You have to have an additional amount of insurance.
And so what type of permit is this?
It's a site permit. It's for excavation. Oh, this permit here is a commercial building permit.
And so the site permit is something separate you must obtain.
Correct.
And I assume that you can't start excavation work without that site permit?
Correct.
Okay. And for this permit, when was the initial inspection?
I believe the initial inspection was in September. It was after the stop work order was issued.
So at the time that you went out to the property, the initial inspection hadn't occurred.
Correct.
Is work allowed to proceed prior to an initial inspection?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to move on to pardon. Okay, I moved on to City Exhibit 6. What is this document?
This is statement of special inspections.
And what is this for?
So this is the agreement that had to be, so they have to pick an engineering firm, a special inspector to be on site. And that's what that stamp is on the bottom right corner. That's the special inspector agreeing to be on site for whatever stamped on below, whether it be continuous or periodic.
Okay, and you just mentioned continuous and periodic. What does that mean?
So if it's continuous, you have to, that engineer special inspector has to be on site at all times when that particular work is being done.
And why is that?
Because they have to monitor and make sure that it's being done correctly.
I'm going to move down to the third page of this document. There's this miscellaneous section. And I'll zoom in a little bit more. There's a checkbox here. Can you explain what this checkbox is?
That checkbox is saying that the underpinning work is supposed to be monitored continuously whenever it's being conducted.
And what is underpinning work?
So underpinning is the strengthening of an existing foundation. So if you have a foundation wall of any type, rubble, stone, concrete wall, it really doesn't matter. Once you dig below the adjacent foundation, underpinning needs to occur. So, and it has to be done in segments typically 3 foot. So they would mark out the wall. Whatever the permit requirement says, it could be A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And the special inspector engineer who's certified to oversee this will let them know which segments they could do on each day. So like all the A segments can be done at one point, and then maybe all the C segments can be done at another point, but they have to be done, per the engineer on site. They have to follow his guidance.
And that's for safety reasons again, correct?
Correct.
And then we see another section here with a box check next to structural stability. What is that?
So the structural observation and monitoring, that's basically, they're going to be continuously providing documents for everything that they observed on that site structurally. So any inspections that they did, they have to provide documents for that. That's what the structural observation and monitoring is.
And that's again continuous?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to move down to what has been marked City Exhibit 8. When was did you ever go to this property?
Yes.
Mr. Rulo, could you go back to that document? When was it signed? Is there a date on that document?
I am not sure. I can actually ask the witness a couple of questions to clarify that. So again, Supervisor Paralek, you reviewed the records for the permits here?
Yes. So this document is submitted at the application stage. And then at the final stage, so this is a statement of special inspections. At the end of the job, they have to provide a final compliance schedule saying that they monitored and they did everything that they agreed to. And that has to be submitted at the very end.
And
So, if I may, I'm sorry to, I know you're questioning, but if you're saying that's the application stage, that would be before the date the construction permit was issued in July. Is that?
Correct.
Thank you.
And this is Is this the statement of special inspections associated with the permits we're discussing?
It is.
And did you pull this, or was this obtained from the Eclipse? It is in the Eclipse file, excuse me.
Yes, it's in the application documents tab on Eclipse for this permit.
Okay. When was the first time that you went to this property?
It was July 26th of 2024.
And you were there personally?
Yes.
And how did it come about that you went to the property?
So the director of the contractual service unit, which is the dangerous building unit, happened to be driving down the street and seen multiple workers removing buckets of dirt and dumping them into the back of a truck. So our unit was contacted along with the construction inspection unit to go out and check.
I would object to this also, as here to say there's no documentary evidence of what alerted Mr. Paralek, and if it's a communication with somebody else as a result of driving by, that certainly is hearsay.
First, for two reasons. Mr. Paralek went out there in person. He's reporting what the investigation was, and he's a custodian of records. If he wants, I can voir Supervisor Paralek as to the notes that he's reviewed for these files, which are stored in Eclipse.
Again, testifying.
I've heard the arguments, gentlemen. I've heard the arguments. The objection is overruled. Let's proceed.
Okay. And so you went out to the property on the 26th as a result of those that information that you gained?
Correct.
Okay. And is this a photo that you took?
No, this is a photo from Inspector Jason Bermudez. I was on site with him when he took the photo.
But it's where did this was this photo obtained from the Eclipse system as well?
Yes.
Okay. And what does this and is this for the subject property?
Yes.
Okay. And what does this photo show?
This photo shows a trench dug along the perimeter of the basement with underpinning segments painted out on the wall.
Okay. And when you arrived, let me take a step back. When you arrived, what did you find?
The entire basement had been a trench had been excavated along the entire perimeter of the basement, and there was multiple workers with buckets of dirt being removed out of the basement.
And we had reviewed the statement of special inspections form and those requirements for a continuous inspector. Was a special inspector present?
No, there was not.
All right, I'm going to move down to a second photograph. And what does this photo show?
This photo shows the trench, and I believe that's the front of the property in the basement.
And then is this another angle of that?
Yes, that's the front of the property also on the left side of the basement.
And so viewing this work and given your familiarity with this permits, well, were the plans being complied with?
No,
And at this time, again, was a site permit issued?
no,
And had the initial inspection for the commercial permit occurred?
no,
So this work was not authorized.
no, it was not.
And then we have another photo of that, correct?
Correct,
And then again, another photo.
correct.
And again, this is showing the same.
That's the back of the property, and that whole entire thing was bulk excavated back there.
And does that stand out for any particular reason to you?
Yeah, because you have to have an engineer on site when you're doing this.
And you had testified about the process in terms of those numbers.
Yes, so they have to be dug out in the correct set. So the engineer who is certified to oversee special inspections determines the way the underpinning's done. You can't excavate segment 1 and 2 at the same time. You have to do segment 1, and then go back and backfill them before you go back and do segment 2. Prior to being backfilled, they would have to be so when they do the underpinning, they dig underneath the existing foundation, pull out the soil in that 3-foot segment. They'll install reinforcing bar in there, put formwork up, pour the concrete to, I don't know the exact number, but it's roughly an inch or 2 inches below the existing foundation. They'll come back the following day with a non-shrink grout, and they'll pack that non-shrink grout underneath to fill in the gap. And then they have to let it cure prior to doing another segment right next to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And this is another angle of that, correct?
Yes,
And again, another angle.
yes.
And what is this image showing?
It's showing the front door with a stop work order on it.
Okay. And so just to be clear, stop work order was issued for all the reasons you've just discussed.
Correct.
And moving down to City Exhibit 9, what is this document?
This is the site utility permit that the approved scope of work is for excavation, basement dig out, and underpinning as per approved plans and associated with the building alteration work per CP 2024-002598. And this was not issued until 9/30 of 2024.
So 2 months after your visit to the site.
Correct.
Okay. They had applied for the permit though.
So yeah, they had applied for the permit, but it had not been issued.
So they understood that they needed this.
Yes.
Okay, I'm moving down to City Exhibit 10. What is this document?
This is a violation notice in order to correct.
Okay. And was this issued due to the violations you discovered?
Yes.
And this was issued to the property owner, correct?
Yes.
Are you aware of any appeal of this notice of violation?
No, there's no appeal.
And what is this document?
This is a site violation notice.
And it's for the continuous underpinning?
Yes.
Was this appealed?
No.
Moving down to this, what is this document?
This is a violation notice in order to correct.
And what was this one for? Do you need me to zoom in?
Yeah. So this is for construction documents for a permit for excavation shall be submitted in accordance with section A 305.2.7.1 through A 305.2.7.4. Also, You are hereby ordered to obtain the services of a Pennsylvania licensed professional engineer to serve as a design professional and responsible charge pursuant to Administrative Code Section A 304 and maintain at a minimum the following responsibilities.
Okay, and was this notice of violation appealed?
No.
As Mr. Sokolov indicated, the parties have stipulated to the fact that these two notices of violation have now been marked complied by the department. But again, I'm just emphasizing to bring this in because as Mr. Perelik has testified, none of them were appealed.
Okay.
Pardon,
So
this
noted.
is freezing on me. Just 1 second. Okay, I'm on hold up here. So we'll review some more documents in a second, but generally, what did you do after that inspection on July 26th?
So, well, we wrote our license, my unit, the Audits and Investigation Unit, issued licensing violation notices. We sent an email out for a detailed subcontractor list to be provided back. We also requested an interview with Fortis Construction, which they did not comply with.
Okay, and is this the licensing violation notice that you're referencing?
It's one of them, yes.
Okay. And this was issued to Fortis Construction?
Yes.
Okay. And the date of this is September 10th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And just a general description, but what were the specific violations cited here?
So working without required permits, and the subcontractor list wasn't uploaded within 3 days of start of work.
And then there's some more information here. What is
Yes.
it?
Adjacent property notice was forged, and contractor shall comply with all provisions of the Philadelphia Code. And it references a code section.
And to be clear, was any appeal of this licensing violation notice filed?
No.
Okay. I'm just going to change documents real quickly. And this is what's been marked as City Exhibit 11. I'm going to, have you reviewed this email chain?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go down and start with the beginning of this chain. And is this a chain that's kept in the Eclipse file for this case?
This particular document is uploaded to Eclipse, this one.
Okay. So we're back here on August 6, 2024. What is this email?
So this is an email, it's requesting a subcontractor audit form. So it's a form that we ask them for everybody from the rebar guys to the foundation guys to the guys putting flooring in. They have to fill in the document if there's nobody hired at that point, or if they're doing the work on their own, they put that in there. If somebody else is doing the work, we need to know who that contractor is, what their license number is, and if work is commenced.
Okay. And when are you supposed to submit that information?
So this is different than uploading your information to Eclipse, which is required to be done in 3 days of start of work. This is when we audit a job, or we're brought out to a job for any reason, we're going to request this by email, and we're going to give you 7 days to reply back. If you don't reply back, you're not complying with our audit.
And this portion here, so Fortis replied to your email, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And they did actually want to discuss what was happening there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So they were completely aware of the situation?
Yes.
Okay. And what did AIU do in response to that?
In response to this email here?
Yes.
So if they did not comply with what we were asking, we issued them an additional violation for failure to comply with an audit investigation.
Okay. And what happened to the permit that was issued here? After this, after you discovered what happened in July?
So the commercial building permit had a stop work order placed on it.
So it was put on hold.
Well, the work was put on hold. The permit was still issued, but they weren't allowed to go back to work until the site permit was issued.
And at that time, did AIU launch a full investigation?
Yes.
And I'm gonna move on. Skip down here. This is City Exhibit 12. What is this document?
Notice of investigation and interview request. So
And what
we're
is-
basically asking Fortis Construction to give us a couple dates where they could come in through, it would be a Teams call where we would conduct an interview with them. We would have a set number of questions that we're going to ask them, and they have to comply with answering them correctly. They did not comply. They didn't respond.
So they didn't engage with this request at all.
No.
And as a result of that, was an additional licensing violation notice issued?
Yes.
And is this that notice?
Yes, it is.
And was this appealed?
No.
That does it for my directive, Supervisor Parlick.
Thank you. Mr. Sokoloff, any cross-examination?
Yes, of course. May I have just a minute to organize here?
Yes, please.
All right, Mr. Parlick, good afternoon. I apologize. I'm going to do this a bit out of order, so thank you for your understanding of this. I want to go. Well, let's go first. Apologies. You heard Mr. Biggin and Mr. Oler testify that they saw demolition work begin sometime at the end of February, correct?
Yes.
Okay. There were no violations issued on the property until July, is that correct?
From what I believe, yes, you're correct.
Well, you reviewed the records, and did you see any violations?
I don't. No, I don't recall.
Okay. And you were on site on the 26th, but you didn't issue the violations, correct?
Correct. There was one of my inspectors issued the licensing violation notices. He was on site with me. I was overseeing him, and one of the construction inspection unit inspectors issued the standard case files.
Okay. And I believe the violation was issued. I apologize. I don't think the exact date matters, but sometime at the end of July was the first violation issued on the property, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then immediately or just within a few weeks of that, Mr. Carpel, who is also with AIU?
No, he's no longer with AIU, but he was one of my investigative analysts.
Okay, so he was at the time.
Yes.
Okay. And he sent this email to Fortis Construction that this permit and their construction there ostensibly was being audited, correct?
Yes.
All right. And Fortis did respond to that?
They didn't respond with what we asked them. We asked them to fill out a document.
Was that document ever provided to you?
I do not believe so.
Okay, I'm going to show you. Have you ever seen this document, sir?
Yes, actually, that is the document. They did submit it.
Okay, so it's fair to say that Fortis did participate in the audit, is that correct?
Yes, if they uploaded it, if they provide this document, they participated in this part of the audit, but not the interview process.
Well, we'll get there, but let me ask you, eventually Fortis was issued a site permit, correct?
Yes, I believe it was in the end of September.
Okay, and the violations that were issued in July, I think we've stipulated, but they have been complied with, correct?
So there's three different types of violation. there's a licensing violation. The licensing violation, we give you 30 days to appeal to the Board of L&I Review. If you do not appeal in 30 days, an invoice is sent and the case is complied. Is the word complied the best word to be used for this? No, but it's the invoice is sent and the case is closed because you didn't appeal. That's how a licensing violation is issued.
Okay.
A site violate, well, you asked, you want me to
No, no,
answer?
you're correct.
Right. A site violation notice is the same thing. You get 30 days to comply. If you don't or 30 days to appeal. If you don't appeal in the 30 days, the case is closed and the invoice is sent. The last one is a standard case file. A standard case file gives you time to comply. We're asking you to do something. We're asking you to get a permit. We're asking you to get an engineer's notice. If you do those things, then the case is complied. You did what we were asking. So that's
Okay.
why the cases are complied.
I understand, sir. I'm asking, let's talk specifically about the construction violations, the one related to the excavation, we'll call. Those, a site permit was obtained, correct?
At the end of September, yes.
Okay, and let me ask you this. Would Fortis have been able to obtain a site permit to rectify the violations while they were under audit?
Yes.
Until the audit was closed out?
Yeah, they could still get the permit. They have to provide the correct documents for the permit.
Okay, so they did undergo the audit in order to eventually obtain the site permit, correct?
Now, the audit has nothing to do with the permit issuance.
It's your testimony that you can get a site permit while you're undergoing an audit for documents related to the site permit?
Correct. They had to provide new documents, not the old documents. It's in the email chain that they had to provide new signatures from the adjoining properties in order to get the site permit issued. Once they did that, then the site permit was issued.
Okay, and that's exactly what you told them here in this August 15th email, correct? Good morning. Your next step is to get the required permit for excavation and underpinning under this permit. Engineer's report is needed.
That's what's written.
Okay, so eventually, again, they did comply with the requirements to obtain the site permit.
Correct.
Do you see this email here from Mr. Masheri that they're unable to pay for the permit as a result, as it's being investigated? And then they received the notice, audit notice?
I do see that. Let me read it. Can you blow that up a little bit?
Sure, I can try.
Wait, you know what? I'm just going to move in closer.
I'm sorry, it's not in PDF, so it's a little hard.
It's all right. I'll be able to read it.
And I apologize that I'm sweating. The AC in our offices.
No problem. Okay, it says understood. It was already applied for and ready to be paid. We were unable to pay it as L&I said the permit will be investigated. Then we received the audit notice from you. Can you coordinate with them and release the hold so we can pay for the excavation permit? Once approved, we will meet the inspector on site. So there was a hold placed on the permit issuance until these two documents were verified. So the two documents are the acknowledgement of receipt forms. So there was a hold placed on there because the permit was issued prior with two forged signatures. So the permit issuance department isn't checking for signatures. So those signatures had to be uploaded and then verified prior to that. So that's what was waiting on. As soon as they were uploaded, those acknowledgement forms with signatures, then the permit was issued. But it wasn't. Yeah, good.
Did you respond to this email from them notifying them of that?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Okay. Are you aware of whom Elizabeth Baldwin is?
Yes, she's our chief code official.
Okay, and she's with L&I, correct?
She is the chief code official for license and inspection.
And are you aware of why Fortis Construction eventually reached out to Miss Baldwin for assistance with this matter?
Probably to get assistance on getting a permit issued.
But they had asked you to also assist with rectifying or at least explaining the steps to rectify.
The steps to rectify were for them to get the acknowledgement form signed. I'm not going to go out and get the form signed. They have to get the form signed and then upload it.
But they're involved in an audit and you're telling them some steps, but then they're asking you questions related to that and you're not responding.
I'm just going to object to that. And I think the witness has answered the question and now we're trying to put words in the witness's mouth.
Mr. Sokolov, I think he responded that he didn't respond, so
Okay.
I'm not sure what else you're trying to elicit.
All right.
So I would sustain the objection.
Mr. Bradlock, you said that, actually, let's go. We were looking at this form, which had to be submitted along with the original license, permit application, correct?
Yes.
Could you tell us, is there a reason there's no date of receipt or application number with this document?
I don't know that answer.
Okay. But this is part of the city's exhibit, so this was pulled from the city system. So
Yeah,
there,
this is uploaded to the application documents on Eclipse for the permit.
it's uploaded by the permit seeker, and then it would be stamped. Internal use means internally for L&I, correct?
Yes.
So we don't actually have a record of when this document was received by L&I or reviewed.
It would be in the application document. If you went into the application documents tab in Eclipse, it would show the date that it was put in there.
Okay. But you would agree with me, there's certainly a discrepancy as to this particular document here, as we don't know the date of it.
That would be the only discrepancy, is that it's not stamped with a date, but it was uploaded to the system. The permit wouldn't have been issued without it.
All right. Are you able to see that? I can blow those up, actually.
I can see it.
All right, so we looked at this before. These are the pictures from the inspection on the 26th, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and underpinning, strike that. Underpinning relates to underneath the foundation of the neighboring property, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything indicated in this picture that shows that any excavation was done under the adjacent property and not within the confines of the subject property?
So in this particular picture, I don't see underpinning. There are multiple sections of underpinning that have been completed through the basement, though.
At the time of your inspection?
Yes.
Is that contained in this picture?
I don't see it in that picture.
All right, is it contained in this picture?
I do not see it in that picture. I believe they're all in the back of the property.
Is it contained in this picture?
No,
Is it contained in this picture?
it's in the back left corner, yes. And the underpinning that's required is part of that, and part of that requirement is the removal of the earth in the basement, not just going underneath the foundation wall. It's anytime that soil is removed from an adjacent structure is part of the underpinning process.
Is it contained in this picture?
I don't see it in this picture. But
Is there
again,
a
this is
reason?
part of the underpinning process, removing the soil.
I'm simply asking you if there's any evidence at this time of July 26th that you can point to that shows excavation of anything underneath the adjacent properties.
There is.
Okay, and which picture would that be?
I just told you the picture in the back left corner. It may not be that clear because it's taken from a distance, but
Mr. Sokolov, scroll down a bit. You there you go, right there.
yeah. So you see the far back corner, there's multiple sections of underpinning. You see the gray concrete? Yep.
Right there. You're able to ascertain that that was done as part of Fortis's efforts?
I was on site. I walked through this whole entire basement. I seen it with my own eyes.
All right, you stated that there was no special inspector on site at this time, at exactly the time that you were there.
Correct.
But eventually, in order to get the site permit and in order to comply with the site violations, they would have had to show you special inspection reports, correct?
On the site permit after?
Yes.
After it was issued? Yes,
Yes.
they would have had to they would have had to call for the required inspections. They would have had to provide a final compliance document. So that statement of special inspections is uploaded at the time of permit issuance. And at the end of the job, or at the end of that particular requirement, they have to upload that final compliance form. It's the same exact form, but it just states final compliance, that that engineer actually did what he was supposed to do.
Were you ever in receipt of this document from Viking Engineers?
I don't recall.
Well, would you have had to receive a document, or would someone in your unit or at LNI have to receive this document in order to close out the site permit violations?
Mr. Sokolov, I'm curious, what is this document and who is it addressed to?
It's a special, I'm asking him if he's aware of the document. It's a special inspection document that goes to LNI.
No, this isn't a special inspection document.
Cross-examination, Mr.
Yeah, I'm going to just object. I was giving this some room, but this is beyond the scope of my direct.
May I proceed? Can I get a?
I'd like you to move on. You can present this document as part of your direct and your direct testimony.
The appeal, pardon me, you said that Fortis never participated in the requested investigation audit or meeting?
In the interview process, we wanted to do an interview with Fortis Construction to ask a line of questioning, and they did not comply with that.
And is the only document that requests that meeting the notice that we looked at prior?
The email.
It's an email sent?
It's an email from Craig Carpel to
Is
Fortis
it this
Construction.
email?
No. This is the email, that was the email requesting a detailed subcontractor list.
Okay, but AIU, yourself, Mr. Carpel, we're all in communication with Fortis on the email chain, correct?
Yes.
And that document that we looked at is it's a notice letter being sent?
This is a notice of investigation to interview.
Okay, was there any follow-up through email that the city has put on as evidence related to their non-participation?
We sent this email, they did not participate, so an additional licensing violation was issued.
But
and it wasn't appealed.
Neither yourself nor Mr. Carpel followed up in any way to schedule this, correct?
The follow-up was the licensing violation. We gave him a chance, he didn't comply, so he got a licensing violation.
What was the result of the audit ultimately?
A suspension of the contractor's license.
Because of the non-participation or for other reasons?
For all the reasons that we've talked about in the last hour.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pavlik. I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rulo, do you have any additional witnesses?
No, I just have a couple of quick follow-up questions.
Okay.
So you indicated that, testified about how you were part of the conversations in early August regarding the hold on the permit. Just so we can be clear, why was the site permit not issued until September 30th?
Because they were waiting on the acknowledgement forms to be signed by the neighboring properties.
And that was because of the information you gleaned from what is alleged to be the fraudulent acknowledgement of receipts.
Correct.
Okay. And then So you heard that, we discussed that Fortis was in communication to a degree with you in August. But is that distinct from that notice of investigation letter?
They were in communication back and forth through email, but they did not comply with the interview. We need to interview them and ask them detailed questions and get their answers, and they did not comply with that.
So it's a separate process where they have to respond and schedule an interview.
Yes,
And that's what they didn't do.
correct.
That does it for my questions.
Okay, thank you. Any additional witnesses?
Not on behalf of the city, I would just reserve the right to recall if necessary.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Sokolov, your opportunity to put on your case.
Thank you very much. Appellant would like to call Anthony Masheri, please.
Okay, Mr. McSherry, if you would unmute, raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. Place your hand down. Mr. Sokolov?
Okay, Mr. Masheri, just some quick reference. What is your role with Fortis Construction?
Operations manager and project manager.
Okay, and you were involved in communicating with neighbors or the RCO related to the neighbor acknowledgement forms and other matters related to the construction?
Yes, correct.
I want to speak a little bit about the April forms that the city is alleging were forged by Fortis. Could you tell us, please, the process that Fortis generally undertakes to obtain neighbor acknowledgement forms?
Yeah, sometimes one of our employees will try, sometimes I've tried, and other times we engage third-party companies because oftentimes you have to go to the properties many, many times.
Okay, and on this particular project as related to Mr. Biggins and Mr. Aller, in April of 2024, what was Fortis Construction's process for attempting to obtain those forms?
During this time, we had a part-time admin person who would help us out with a lot of like the pre-construction process, and it was their task to get the neighboring forms. And they informed me that they hired a courier, and then I received the forms and then I signed them.
And was that person given the various documents that are required to be furnished to neighbors by yourself when they went out to attempt to get those neighbor acknowledgement forms?
Yes.
When you submitted, did you submit the neighbor acknowledgement forms in April prior to the issuance of the initial commercial building permit?
I submitted them to our architect Toner, who then submitted them as part of the permit application process.
At that time, did you have any reason, excuse me, to suspect that the signatures from Mr. Aller and Mr. Biggins weren't in fact theirs?
No, I would have no reason. We've been doing this for many, many years, and it's a standard process.
How many projects, well, let's take it generally. How many projects has Fortis Construction done in the city in the last 10 years?
It would be hard to count, but many, many dozens. And I've been personally involved on, no less than a dozen underpinning jobs specifically.
And is that, strike that. Okay, let's discuss the complaints and the issues related to the underpinning work. There's been indication that there was no site inspector during the excavation work. You've heard that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I'm going to pull up a few documents. We were just looking at it. Are you familiar with this document? Oh, are you able to see that?
Not yet. Yes, I am.
Okay, and could you tell the board, please, what this document is?
And like Mr. Sokolov, I'm just going to object on the basis of hearsay.
Noted. Overruled.
You can answer, Mr. Masheri.
This document is from Viking Engineers. They are the special inspector that was assigned to the project, and it lists the dates that they were on site to witness the excavation and underpinning.
Okay, and Viking Engineers is the same company that we saw on the form presented by Mr. Rouleau that outlines whether it's continuous or, and then has to list the engineers, correct?
Yes, correct.
So were you involved in filling out that form, or was that Mr. Toner, the architect?
I believe I was involved too. There's 3 signature lines on that form. There's
And
owner, contractor, and special inspector.
is it your testimony that Viking Engineers submitted this document to you for all the days that they were in fact on site to observe underpinning?
Yes, you can see there it says underpinning continuous, and I was on site many of those days with him. Additionally, we're also required to be OSHA 3015 certified, and my other project manager is OSHA 1315 certified. So we also take pictures as well and upload them to our project management software.
And the document, this document that we were just looking at, dated July 27th, correct?
Correct.
And that's a day after those violations that Mr. Paralek was testifying about were issued?
Yes, correct.
And these are all the dates that they were there in July?
Let me check the other inspection reports.
Objection, this is a document that's not in evidence. Witness can't consult this unless I have an opportunity to review it.
Sokolov, had you shared that
Yes.
information as part of your
So-
information?
Yeah, so those are the only days that he was there in July.
Wait.
No,
Mr. Sokolov,
he's
the
not looking
document
at.
that is being referenced, there was an objection to using it?
Yeah, I think the objection was to Mr. Masheri looking at a separate document.
That's correct.
What's the separate document you've asked him to reference?
I didn't ask him to reference any document. I'm saying just in this document, it doesn't express that anyone was there on the 26th, correct? The day that Mr. Paralek was there to note the violation?
Okay, Mr. Masheri, then you have to contain your response to that question.
Yes, correct. This document clearly states the days that the special inspector was there.
We'll look through a few of these. What is this document, Mr. Masheri?
It is a additional special inspections report.
Okay, and this is the ongoing continuous inspection of the underpinning, correct?
Correct.
Just
And this
as
one?
we proceed, this is inspections of the underpinning work, but was there a site inspection permit that had been issued, or the particular permit was that in existence when they were making all these inspections?
Mr. Masheri, I believe that question's to you.
Yes, no, we did not have a site permit. Our architect
Thank
informed
you.
us.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this is also a further inspection document, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Mr. Masheri, what did Fortis Construction do when the violations were issued in July of 2024?
I received a phone call from the special inspector. He was quite upset because he said we were shut down for a continued.
Objection, I'm going to object on the basis of hearsay as well. And I just going to maintain that objection for all of this information that's coming from the engineer.
Mr. Masheri,
but let me ask a question, just for Sokolov. Will you have any additional witnesses for today?
We will not know.
Okay, all right, so noted. We will give some leeway in terms of hearsay information.
Yeah, Mr. Masheri, if you could more or less limit your
Yes.
testimony to specifically what Fortis did with minimal reference to anything spoken to you from a third party.
Yeah, absolutely. We complied and stopped work immediately.
Okay, and what was your next step after the work was stopped?
To obtain the proper site permit.
Okay, and then you applied for that site permit, correct?
Correct.
And when was that applied for about?
Officially applied for in September because we had to get the updated neighbor forms. And then as everyone has already stipulated previously, it took about a month to negotiate the good neighbor agreement. Then we received the neighbor forms, and then Toner Architects submitted, were able to submit for the site permit.
You heard some testimony from Mr. Paralick that you did not participate in any kind of audit. Did you hear that?
I did hear that, yes.
What was your participation in the audit?
I received an email that we were going to be audited. I think you showed it earlier that we responded to that email, I believe, the next day. And then within 7 days, I think it was on day 6, we submitted that list of subcontractor form.
Okay.
At which point there were not very many subcontractors that we had hired yet. So we listed the ones that we did hire, the LGE trucking, and then listed the ones that we were going to be performing ourselves.
Okay. And while you were undertaking steps to obtain the site permit, you were also communicating with Mr. Carpel and Mr. Paralick regarding the audit. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. You heard testimony that you did not respond to the notice to participate in an interview via Microsoft Teams. Do you recall that?
Yes.
All right. Why was that? Why did that meeting never happen?
In our emails back and forth with Craig and Kenneth, I asked what the next steps were. Kenneth explained that we needed to get a site permit, and then I followed up with Elizabeth Baldwin. She informed me we needed the neighbors' signatures, which I already knew, and then we obtained the site permit. And then, so in my eyes, I thought we had complied. We submitted the document, and the site permit was issued.
And did you understand that going through the process of obtaining, strike that, did you understand that going through the process to obtain the site permit was in fact part of the audit process for you?
Yes, I believe that was the case.
Okay. So you understood that, your understanding was that by rectifying the issues raised in the violations, you were complying with the audit?
I'm just going to object. I've given some bandwidth here, but the leading questions are getting on a director getting a little far here.
Okay, Mr. Sokolov, please rephrase that.
What did you understand was the relationship between between trying to obtain the site permit and the audit process?
When Ken from the AAU sent me that email saying what the next steps were to comply, that's what I thought I needed to do in order to comply.
Did you ever communicate directly with Mr. Aller or Mr. Biggins after July of 2024 in pursuit of obtaining the neighbor acknowledgement forms?
I believe I did, but as they stated earlier, most of the communication was done through Patricia Freeland.
Okay, and why was that? Why was most of the communication done through Ms. Freeland?
That would be a better question for them. I had offered many times to meet them on site and in person, but they preferred to discuss everything through Ms. Freeland.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. What was the RCO's involvement in this construction project?
That was probably before when I got involved in the project, so I can't specifically, comment on that.
Okay, well, did the project require a variance of any kind?
No, everything was done by right. And part of the negotiation with Patricia was actually reducing the scale of the project that we could do by right to a much smaller size to accommodate the neighborhood's requests and the neighbors' requests.
Do you recall receiving this notice form?
I do recall receiving it, but not on this date. It was much later.
Did you receive it as part of, well, how did you receive it?
I don't recall how. It was probably mailed to that address.
And just for the record, this is the good neighbor agreement that you ended up executing, correct?
Yes, correct.
What were some of the benefits given to the neighbors in this agreement, if you can recall?
On the construction side of things, they wanted a direct contact so that if there was any noise or debris or sidewalk dirt, that they wanted to make sure that it would be resolved in a certain number of days. They wanted additional.
I'm just going to object for the same reason as Mr. Sokolov. Understand we're going to proceed, but the document speaks for itself. Just preserving that.
You can answer, Mr.
Okay.
Oh, I apologize, Board.
On the property management side, they wanted to make sure that they were not aware that we have an internal property management company. So that is in there, that we manage our own properties, that we will, once the project is leased up, that we will be good neighbors. And again, if a tenant moves out and puts trash on the sidewalk, that we will rectify that quickly. And it adds additional quiet enjoyment and other provisions specifically in our lease, and that the Spring Garden Association will get copies of all of our leases going forward. Which they have now in their possession. They have our lease.
All right, I want to turn quickly to this notice of decision to suspend license. Are you aware of this document?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and this is is it correct that this is the document that generated the appeal for which we're here today?
Yes, correct.
All right. When you saw these violations listed here, what was your understanding strike that. What was your understanding of the implications of appealing this particular notice?
The implications of appealing this specific notice was in order.
When this specific notice was appealed, what was your understanding of the implications related to these various violations?
That we would dispute some of them, and hopefully by obtaining the site permit and complying with the audit, that we would be able to satisfy the city's requirements.
If I can just have 2 minutes, Chair?
Yes.
Thank you. I just want to review some notes. All right, Ms. Riccieri, just one final question for you. Again, you heard some testimony about demolition being undertaken in February of 2024. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. When did any excavation actually begin?
It's on the special inspections form, so that would have been July 15th.
And do you have any response to Mr. Aller and Mr. Biggin's testimony that there was demolition being done in February?
Yes. Yes. Once we close on a property, we do a lot of pre-construction work. The building had a lot of debris in it, so we did do large amounts of trash removal.
Okay, nothing further. Thank you, Mr. Riccieri.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll just.
Examination.
Yes, just I'll try to keep this brief. Mr. Masheri, how long have you been in business?
I've been with the company for almost 10 years.
Okay. And what was your role again?
Operations manager and the lead project manager.
And so you and Fortis have a pretty good understanding of the rules for operating as a contractor in the city.
Yes.
And I think you said that you've worked on quite a number of properties.
Yes.
And am I correct that you also have an ownership interest in a number of properties?
I do not.
Okay, so the owner of 627 North 16th Street, you have no
Objection
connection?
to relevance here. We're here on a contractor license suspension. Ownership of properties
Let
is
me.
fully not an issue.
Yeah, letting some offer proof of Mr. Rowe.
Yeah, so I think that this is relevant because the point here is establishing the sophistication of Fortis. They're an extremely sophisticated company that has multiple different operations and related entities is what the city believes. And so I think it gets to the issue of the credibility and especially the fact that there's now an admission that they started work without a permit. There's one thing if grandma starts work without a permit. There's another thing if an extremely sophisticated person starts work without a permit.
I think the issue goes to this matter of Mascari's ownership, and you didn't get the address. What property are you referencing? Is that the property in question today?
I can try asking it in a different way.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Masheri, does Fortis operate as a family business?
Objection.
That I'll overrule.
Okay.
I'll
move on.
Please proceed. Please proceed, Mr. Rulo.
So, Mr. Masheri, you.
I mean, Mr. Rulo, I overruled the objection, so you can ask, ask the question if you choose.
Mr. Masheri, are you involved in property management at all?
Yes, I am.
And how many properties do you manage in the city?
Forget the exact number, but around 25.
I would also, just for the record, I understand, object, Mr. Rulo, what specific, when you say you need to be more specific in what you're asking. Are you asking what Fortis Construction manages, what Mr. Masheri individually manages?
I believe I asked Mr. Mashiri individually.
Okay.
And do you operate a number of properties in the city?
Yes.
And then you do contracting work for a number of properties in the city?
Yes.
And you admit that on July 15th, the excavation work began at this property?
Yes.
But you also acknowledge that you did not have a site permit?
Yes. I stated that earlier.
Do you understand the risks of doing work without excavation work without a permit?
Yes, I do.
And then moving on, so I believe you said, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth, that you received that notice of investigation letter likely by mail, I believe is what you said?
I said I forgot how I received it, but it would be likely by mail, and then, the mail was dropped off at my house or office.
So you acknowledge that you received it?
I believe it was in November, I think the date of the letter.
Did you ever come in for an interview?
For the AIU, the audit?
So that letter, you heard that it was asking for you to come in for an interview. Did you ever come in for an interview?
That letter was after all of this had been settled and the permits were issued, so I had thought that everything had been complied.
So is the answer no, you never came in for an
Yes,
interview?
the answer is no.
Okay. And if I understood correctly, you said that an employee of Fortis was the one who you assigned to go out and get those signatures for the acknowledgement, neighborhood acknowledgement agreements. Did I understand that correctly?
It was a part-time 1099 employee, yes.
Okay. And so you testified that you had no idea that those were false signatures.
Correct.
And you submitted Fortis submitted a letter on December 12th of 2024. Is that correct?
I'm not sure which letter you're referencing. Do you have it?
Yes, I can bring it up. It was in response to, and Mr. Sokolov, this is one of your exhibits, I believe. 1 second. Do you recognize this letter?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In this letter, did you make any mention of the fact that, or not the fact, your assertion that it was an employee that did this without your knowledge?
No, I did not.
And for those notices of violation that cited you for Fortis, for the forgeries, you didn't appeal those?
No, I thought that was part of the audit process.
And you saw an email exchange with Betsy Baldwin and Ken Paralak. In that email exchange, did you ever mention that it was an employee who obtained these forged signatures?
No, they did not ask.
Before today, did you tell anyone at L&I that it was an employee who did this?
No, because there was this hearing was scheduled, so I thought this was the venue to explain.
Thank you. That does it for my questions.
Thank you. Any re-examination, Mr. Sokolov?
No redirect, thank you.
Okay. Do you have any additional witnesses?
We do not.
Okay. Does anyone else have any Questions for the, you're not on yet.
Mr. Messeri, so you're saying one of the employees from Fortis Construction forged those documents?
I'm not sure. I explained it was a part-time person we used for administrative work that I tasked with it, and they mentioned that they might have used a courier. But all I know is I got the forms, I signed them as I confirmed earlier, that was my signature on the bottom. And then I submitted them to Toner Architects.
And I'm just going to resubmit the objection on the basis of hearsay.
What would benefit an employee or a courier to forge those documents?
I have no idea. I can't speak for other people. All I know is that we eventually got the signatures, and I made sure through the neighbor's attorney that everything was done the correct way, as we've done countless times before.
The other question, why didn't you get the permit?
That I explained earlier, the Toner Architect said that a site permit's not always needed, and I already said that that was an oversight. We stopped work immediately and then obtained the proper permit.
You also testified you did just underpinning at different places in the city of Philadelphia,
Many, many times, yeah.
with or without a permit.
Oh, with a site permit. Now we know just to get a site permit, and I do understand that it states on the permit that a excavation permit is needed. That's why we stopped work immediately and then complied by obtaining the proper permit.
And back to one of Mr. Rulo's questions. You mentioned Fortis Construction, which you're an employee.
Yes.
There's also emails from a Mascari Group and a Radix PG.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the owner of those companies, or?
No, I'm not the owner. Radix Property Group is the property management division.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would ask, Mrs. Mascari,
Yes.
why did not your company apply for and receive the commercial building permit before you started work?
It was we did have a building permit. We did not have a site permit is the issue.
But if you began demolition and clearing out in February, you didn't have a permit then, did you?
We don't need a permit to clear out leftover belongings and furniture and many surfaces you're allowed. You don't need a permit for.
So that's all you did? You didn't do any removal of fixtures? You didn't take cabinets off the wall? You didn't begin taking out plaster and all that sort of thing?
No structural work. I know that's absolutely not allowed.
But I asked you, did you remove any cabinets or anything? That isn't structural, that's cabinets from the walls and sinks and things. You begin doing that?
Not that I'm aware of. You saw the photos of the property and you saw the living room in its condition. It had all its walls and the staircase and everything.
Yeah, that's not telling me anything though. It just shows drywall. I don't know what's behind it.
Right.
So.
But we didn't
you can see
remove.
you don't have any photographs of framing and when that occurred, do you?
I do not know, but you can see in those photos that no drywall was removed.
When did you get your initial inspection to start to work?
I met Brian Heston, who was our L&I inspector. He was on site 4 times. We passed our initial or.
The question is this, when did you get your initial inspection to start to work?
I don't recall that. I just know that we passed all 4 inspections with Brian Heston.
Okay, but I'm curious as to when you were actually got the initial, because that's the go-ahead date.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I already said I don't recall the exact date of the initial.
You don't have that document in front of you? You don't have anything that would indicate
No,
that?
I pulled up Eclipse before the meeting to show council, and it just shows pass. It doesn't have dates on there, so not sure, sir.
And what about records that your company maintains?
We don't maintain every single date of every single inspection. If we pass and I make sure the inspector closes it out and I check Eclipse to make sure it's passed, just so that we're covered. But we don't always maintain records of the date of every.
So the official start date isn't that important to your company?
Not specific to the initial inspection.
Okay. All right.
The permit was issued on July 12th. So to me, that's the official start date is July 12th.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from anyone?
Yeah, I just want to confirm, the construction permit that was issued by the city, commercial construction permit?
Yes.
That was in July when it was issued, is that correct?
Yes, correct. July 12th, sir.
I see. So between February and July, all the work that was being done in the property was not involving any construction, any digging in the basement. It was just cleaning up the property, and they were
Correct.
just removing debris on a daily basis?
Correct.
And you didn't feel the need to apply for a permit until sometime in, I guess, June or July? Because the permit was issued in July. You had to apply for it before that, correct?
Yes, we would have liked to have applied for it in February, but there were negotiations back and forth with the Spring Garden Civic Association. As I mentioned earlier, we were allowed to build a rather large addition by right. But Historic and the neighbors, we worked with Historic and neighbors to scale the size of the addition back 3 times, which every process takes about a month to go back before the zoning board. So that was about a 3-month process. Once everyone approved the plans, that's when we were able to submit. And by that time, it was July.
So in the meantime, all this activity was happening on the property, although you hadn't resolved, I guess, a zoning issue because you were working with the community association. Is that correct?
There was no zoning issue. We have a zoning permit by right for what we were doing. It was the size of the addition on the back. So we could not apply for the building permit because the plans were not approved by the Civic Association or the Historic Commission yet. So there was a rather lengthy time between, February and when we finally submitted. I think Ken from LNI earlier said he wasn't sure when we submitted. We probably submitted in June if it was finally issued in July 12th.
So all this time, and then you were
Just waiting.
supposedly and you were negotiating with the community association.
Correct.
But somehow you ended up getting these acknowledgement letters from the 2 neighbors that were dated in April. Didn't that seem suspicious to you if you hadn't really come to an agreement with the neighborhood association until July?
Well, the neighborhood
Isn't that
association.
a little strange?
No, the discussions with the neighborhood was more about the scale of the project.
But the scale involved impacts on the adjacent properties. Is that correct?
It does, yes.
So would it not have seemed strange to get the neighbors' acknowledgements in April if you hadn't reached any agreement with the community regarding the scope of your project until sometime in July?
Yeah, I'm not sure there was a long four-month period where we were discussing everything back and forth. So, I don't recall like the specific time.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. I would ask at this point, if there are no additional questions for Mr. Sokoloff, you have any final argument, and then we'll hear from Mr. Rullo.
I think in this matter, I'll save the board some time. I don't think that any closing is necessary for the record. I will say that while my client has acknowledged that, some violations existed and there were some oversights that created those violations, this is a company that has had a good track record, has not had anything like this come up before. And I think a 2-year suspension of a license that was related to a construction project that did eventually comply with all of the violations, that did obtain acknowledgement letters and in fact executed a good neighbors agreement with both the RCO and the adjacent neighbors is just a bit of an overreach and incredibly burdensome. Our client has offered to pay violations, has attempted to resolve this matter with the city. But this 2-year suspension, we just believe is not rightful under the circumstances of, oversight violations that were eventually resolved. And this matter of the forgeries, as you've heard testimony, is not fully in the control of Fortis, and I think is somewhat negated by the fact that neighbors did eventually sign those acknowledgement forms. So, their issues with that are again somewhat negated by the fact that they eventually did sign and have agreed that they have signed those neighbor acknowledgement forms. Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rullo?
Yes, I'll try to be very quick. So first off, as you heard, none of the notices of violation that made these allegations were appealed. In accordance with City v. Gans, all of those admissions, all of those allegations in the notices are deemed admitted as a matter of law and cannot be disputed. I'll just walk through some of the timeline because I think it's pretty basic. You heard testimony of two neighbors saying that this was not just cabinets that were being removed in February. I believe Mr. Biggin even said he saw rubble. There were no permits. That's not in dispute. We get to July. The CP permit is issued on July 12th, but it's obtained through those fraudulent documents. Did they call for their first inspection after that? No, they started work. Did they obtain the site permit despite seeing on the commercial permit that it was needed? No, they started work. And I'd add that, you know, let me add this first. Looking at this issue that we've heard today for the first time in terms of it was an employee who did this. I think that this is a sophisticated developer who understands and has acknowledged that, you know, the requirements and the safety issues that are at risk here. They had an opportunity for 9 months to raise the assertion that an unknown employee did this for unknown reasons, who is no longer there and who isn't here to testify. They didn't dispute this on appeal when the allegation was made. They didn't dispute this in the email communications that you saw here today. They didn't dispute that in the letter that they sent on December 12th. They didn't dispute that in the appeal documents. It waited until 9 months until we got here that we heard this assertion that it was who knows who. And the second is, even if the board were to accept that assertion that this person took that action without any knowledge of Fortis at all, there's a public policy issue here. This is an unacceptable situation that could have risked lives and constitutes fraud. There needs to be a clear message sent that if you are not supervising those around you sufficiently, that it allows fraud to happen like this, there are severe penalties, because there is we need to disincentivize this conduct. And so I would say that even if that were true, this 2-year suspension unequivocally is fair in the city's view.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Just one moment. Okay, we're back on the record. Just one moment, please. We will now poll the board regarding HA 2024 005 224 627 and 629 North 16th Street. Wendy Coyne, Fortis Construction LLC, city affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
The majority, the unanimous vote is city affirmed. Of course, Mr. Sokoloff, you have a right to appeal our decision. So thank you very much for your participation. Gentlemen, have a good afternoon.
Thank you, members of the board. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, the witnesses are excused.
And that completes my business. If I may please be excused.
Yes, you excuse.
That concludes the list.
That concludes the list. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation today. We've completed our final hearing for today, 4/24. Have a good evening.